Hey guys, ready for tonight?
Hey Sean, you looking good. What?
Yes, sir. Bryan, you got the stuff?
You guys bought crack?
Crack. Cardboard crack.
He means magic cards, Rene. Yeah, Sean, I brought them over. They're on your side of the desk.
Is that a teddy bear?
Yeah, I brought him over because we're going to be talking about that on the show anyways, so I thought I'd bring him over to get in the spirit of things. I guess.
Your bear just moved.
What?
Your bear just moved on its own. And it flipped me off.
You know what? They are right. Crack is whack.
Sean, take it easy, dude. Are you sure you're just not being nervous about being on the show?
Yeah, sorry. It was just a joke. Like a bear could flip me off. No. With my head is one thing, but mess with my magic cards? That's another thing. You've crossed the line. What kind of sick freak would do this? You think this is funny? You think you have me cornered?
I think you need a breath mint, you schmuck.
Sean, we're just messing with you, buddy, alright?
It's all a joke, man. The talking teddy bear. Crazy.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
Hey, we're gonna with them next, right?
Oh, yeah, we're with them next.
Jesus Christ, dude! Light a match next time, will ya?
Recorded at 12920 Philadelphia Street, Winter, California, at 100 City Comics. Keeping Up with the Nerds presents issue 182. My name is Rene.
I'm Sean. This is Bryan.
And welcome to the show, everyone.
Yeah! We killed Nick, everyone. Nick's dead. Buried his body in the back alley.
Well, you don't need to tell them where he's at.
It's fine. It's a scavenger hunt. This is Keeping Up with the Nerds. Official 2024 scavenger hunt. Five different locations we can find his body parts.
Right.
What's the main prize? What do they win?
I don't know. Friggin' honor. I don't know.
I guess
the honor of
we go to jail.
Nick back evidence
Nick?
to lock us up forever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to go back to jail.
Not you.
Okay.
This is what Rene and I's idea, dude.
Yeah.
He was the accomplice.
Okay. You know what they do to people like me in
they try to
jail?
like bring everyone.
You know what they do to people like me in jail?
Yeah, he's the pretty boy.
Is he the pretty boy?
He's the pretty boy.
Ooh, that means that you got to get us the hookups, Sean.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the show, Sean.
Hey, thanks for having me again.
Yeah. No, it's great, dude. It's great. No, Nick's up in Big Bear.
No tangenting.
No tangenting.
You know?
You're so happy right now. Like,
no.
I'm
He's
gonna
up in
piss
Big
you off,
Bear.
though.
yeah.
What?
I'm gonna piss you off.
You have to be the Nick. I think what ends up happening is anytime you guess,
I kind of have that energy like him.
yeah, you have to be that person
Yeah.
though. So that means that if Nick is not here, you got to be the Nick. If I'm not here, then you got to be me. And if Renee's not here, stare at your phone. Welcome back to the show, everyone. Keeping Up with the Nerds, issue 182. Go check out our website, keepingupwiththenerds.com. Check out our socials, Instagram, Facebook, X.com, formerly known as Twitter. Check out our YouTube channel, keepingupwiththenerds.com /keeping up. No, it's youtube.com /keeping up with the nerds. It's the only place you guys can find the skits that are uploaded before the show starts. And if you guys are on the go, please go check out our audio platforms, Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and soon to be YouTube Music.
When
I figured out how. It's just I think it might take a while because I have to go through every single issue and kind of like say, okay, allow this to be on YouTube Music. One of the things I was thinking about doing is doing like, there's going to be potentially a point in time where we're going to have to stop doing skits because we might be working on something.
Okay.
Right. So in that time, I kind of want to go back and cut up all the skits that we've worked on and have them be separate uploads on the channel.
On the YouTube channel?
On the YouTube channel.
Okay.
So people can find them.
All right. How long does a short on YouTube need to be?
They only allow a minute.
Really? Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. So some of those are going to be like super long. Like this last skit that we did was 3 minutes long.
Which one? The
one
for
we
181?
just did, yeah.
For 181? Yeah, that was a 3-minute skit.
I didn't feel like, you know what's funny? It didn't feel that long recording it.
So the funny thing is, for the last like 2 skits, we've done scripts for them, right? And I was taught that for every 1 page of script that you're reading, it's 1 minute in as a video.
Oh, really? 1 page?
1 page.
Oh,
so that
okay.
means that Oppenheimer was 300 pages long, probably. Or The Beekeeper, which we just saw this last week, was 147 pages because it's
Really?
an hour.
It felt
Is
like
it?
2 hours.
It was 1 hour, 47 minutes. So that means it was 107 pages.
Okay.
107 pages.
you can calculate all that just like off the top of your head.
1 page is 1 minute.
Oh.
1 hour is 60 minutes plus 47 minutes is 107 minutes.
Basic math. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Common Core math.
Yeah.
Common math. Not my strong suit.
Yeah,
that's what I'm
same.
saying,
What did you send me? You sent me a reel about like 16 minus 7 or something like that.
No, so it's 16 minus 9.
16 minus 9. It was like, do you ever remember taking like math courses in high school where they like taught you like weird things on how to figure out like a simple problem?
1, 2, 3. You know, like
Yeah,
6
or-
times 6.
Yeah.
1, 2,
Yeah.
3, 4.
So
5,
his
6.
way was like, 16 is like 4 squared plus like, it was 16 minus 9 is the same thing as 4 squared minus 3 squared or something like that. And then you have to do something different, which is like 4 plus 3 plus 4 minus 3.
Yeah.
And then you have to
lost
cancel
me.
certain numbers out.
Yeah.
And then it equals back to 16 minus 9. So then he puts it in up and down like this. And it's like 16 minus 9. You can't divide 6 minus 9. So you have to take the 1 and put it in 6. So it becomes 16 minus 9. And then he does it over and over and over
Yeah.
again because it's just a cycle.
Okay, now we do sound like nerds. Well, I mean, at least you do.
Well, I mean, 16 minus 9 is 7. So
Basically,
yeah, it was
like
7.
why can't you just do that with
Yeah.
your fingers at that point?
I
Because
never
you don't want to look stupid, you know? Like, who
Yeah.
does math with their fingers in public?
Sometimes I do. It doesn't.
I've never used my fingers. Math has always been just natural to me.
the week or it's natural.
It's natural to me.
Yeah, that's kind of how it goes.
Well, I don't know. It's weird in my head when I saw the like 16 minus 9. I was like, okay, it's 7 because in my head, when you do like 9 plus 7, I don't know why I did this for the longest time. For whenever 9 is in the math problem, I go, okay, so if I did 1 up, if I did 10 plus 7, it'd be 17. But with 9, you go back 1.
yes.
so it's
no,
16.
I do the same thing.
Yeah.
That works.
Oh, I don't do that.
Okay, so if it's 8 plus 9, you grab whatever you're adding to 9 and subtract 1,
Oh,
and then add a 1 to it.
okay.
So 7 plus 9 is 16 because 6 is 1 below 7.
Yeah.
And then you add that 1 in front of it.
Yeah.
I kind of do that with, like, multiplications, in a sense.
How?
Yeah.
It's weird. My brain's weird.
It just works.
I
that way.
just I don't know why my mind just basically same thing, and I just memorized the multiplication table.
See, I think that's
Yeah.
kind of like
Yeah.
the problem. We're not let's not get too serious here because
Yeah.
it's supposed to be comedic. It's just
Well,
fun.
no, it's just
But let's be real.
Yeah.
Like there comes a point in school where like the one thing I hated the most, especially in math, was when they tried to explain to me like this is how you're supposed to do it, and it's like no, sometimes my head works differently.
Yeah.
This is just how it works. So in elementary school, I remember this thing that they would do, which were number crunchers. It was I think it was like every 2 Fridays, you would be sat down at a specific time and you have to solve 100 math problems
Yeah.
in like 5 minutes or something
Yeah,
like
something
that.
like that. Yeah.
And so there were like 3 levels of intensity in every single like thing, and I cleared it all the way up to the top.
Yeah.
So it started out with like simple addition, like 2 plus 3, or 4 plus 5, things like that, right? Nothing too difficult. Then the second one was like, okay, now you're adding like 2-digit numbers, so like 57 plus 13, so on and so forth. And then they would go all the way up to like now subtraction. You do the same thing. Now it's mixed subtraction, subtraction and addition. Then he would start doing fractions, so on and so forth. So there's like multiple levels. And every like couple of months, you'd be given like a button that says like, yeah, you're like a number cruncher level 5 or something like that.
I hate math. I blame my parents because they would yell at me when I wouldn't get it.
Oh, well, you're Hispanic, so
Yeah.
there you go.
What do you mean? Look at this and this.
Yeah.
I don't know what
It's
I'm
either
doing, I'm
you learn it or
sorry.
La Chancla comes at you flying from
Yeah.
across the room.
Seriously. Oh my god.
And you wonder why we have trauma.
Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Dad.
Let's talk about something real quick before we get into the meat of the show.
Yeah.
So this was a piece that I feel like we do need to kind of have a conversation, something serious.
Yeah.
Mainly,
We're all fine.
we're-
Just like-
no
we're all
one's
fine.
dead.
Yeah, no one has cancer.
Nick is alive. It's all right.
No one has
He's
cancer.
Yeah, no one has cancer.
no body
We're
limbs
good.
are missing. It's
Yeah,
fine.
we're good.
No, but this is a serious topic
Yeah.
because we just found about it today as of recording in the
Yeah.
morning, and
As of right now, this is just a rumor.
Yeah, developing.
It's
right
a developing project that's going around Uptown Whittier right now. So for that saying, Undercity's not behind what we say here and stuff like that. We're not even behind what we say. We're just speculating.
Yeah.
At this point.
But I think the most important
Yeah.
thing you said here is Undercity is disassociated from what we're about to say.
Yeah.
Yes.
So anything that we are saying right now is the opinion of us 3
Yeah.
in the table, in this show, expressing our thoughts
Yes.
about what we just found out. Which is what, Rene?
Basically, it has come out. Something has leaked from, I guess, City Council or the Uptown Association that they will be cutting down the trees in Uptown Whittier. Now, when I say that out loud, it doesn't sound like a big deal. But if you've lived around Uptown most of your life, you know how long these trees have been here and stuff like that. So it's pretty interesting that they decided to do something like that. Because at the same time, the reasoning that they are doing it is they're claiming because the below structure of Uptown's like streets and also sidewalks have been like, rising up and stuff like that because the roots are just so deep and so big now.
It's messing up the infrastructure.
Yeah,
of Uptown
basically.
Whittier. The trees that we're talking about are the ones that are rumored to be cut down, are the ones that are all alongside Greenleaf.
Yeah.
So it's, I believe what they're doing is because they're trying to do this whole promenade revival thing that they did a couple years back during COVID. They kind of want to make it, it's a beautification process, essentially what's going on.
Yeah.
They want to make Greenleaf this walkable promenade. Think when you go to, I think it's Santa Monica, or is it the province or whatever it's called? You know what I'm talking about? It's by the beach.
They want it to be like essentially like Venice Beach. People
Thank you.
coming in every single day. I mean, honestly, when outdoor dining was a thing, that's when Uptown Whittier was at its like fullest and stuff like that. People were coming in and out. People were constantly, when they shut down most of Greenleaf.
Yeah.
A lot of people were just coming by, skating and stuff like that. I mean, it was easy, but at the same time, it was a pain to find parking.
Reminds me of, now I can remember, Santa Barbara. Downtown Santa Barbara has
yeah.
a walkable little promenade area. They kind of want to make it like that.
But those things those have like, don't some of those have like near open bodies of water?
Yeah.
Yes.
They're like,
Yeah.
yeah.
So here, the promenade, construction area or construction or process or whatever, that idea, that's a whole separate topic on its own, right? Could it work? Yes, it was perfectly fine for COVID times and stuff like that. But they do want to chop the trees, which is what we're really discussing.
Yeah.
It's the whole chopping of trees from that Greenleaf area all the way up until, I want to say it's like Hadley or something like that.
Yeah.
And like Rene said, it's because the roots, from what we understand, from what was kind of leaked out, was that the roots were going under the streets and ruining the infrastructure of most buildings and businesses around the area. Now, we kind of heard around from what you've been digging in, from what you've been kind of figuring out, and from what I've been researching, it seems that this was kind of a city council voted bill.
Yeah.
That was also
Discreet.
discreet. It was kind of like a decision was made under the table.
Yeah.
But it was also with the help of the Uptown Association and the businesses as well. That
Yeah.
They're kind of agreeing towards it.
They're-
Again, not 100%
yeah.
sure, but this is kind of what we've heard, which we don't know if it's true or
Yeah.
not. Do you have a take on it?
I don't really. I mean, if they're gonna focus, I feel like there are other streets in Uptown that need it, like Painter. Painter. If you've seen the sidewalks on Painter, they are just like completely either gone, or they're just so up. You know, you can't even walk. You have to walk around it. You can't even walk on it anymore. You know, I don't necessarily think Greenleaf needs it. You know, because Greenleaf, you know, that's. The name is Greenleaf. That's the thing, you know, and it's just like
Taking
It's
a
in the name.
Greenleaf out of it,
yeah, that's the thing. It's just, you know, it's Greenleaf. You know, you just recognize it with just the trees and stuff like that. Plus, on the top of that too, some of those businesses rely on the shade, you know, because there's open windows.
Yeah.
So when especially on hot days, you know, when those trees are gone, all those businesses are effed, you know, like because it's gonna be beaming down.
And you did bring up a good point because the people that are leaking it, I think it's the Uptown Whittier Conservation. They have an Instagram or something like that.
Yeah.
I was doing some research on it. I'm going to do some more research before the show. If you guys are interested in following them, I'll put the link in there of their Instagram down below in the description so you guys can go check it out and see what their whole process is and what they're going for.
Yeah.
But according to them as well, Whittier hasn't done any proper climate testing
That's the
or
thing.
environmental impact to it. Apparently, according to
Yeah.
some things that were kind of set out there.
Well, that's another thing too, is that, you know, it's gonna take a long time to take all those trees out.
3 years is what they're saying.
They're
That's
saying
crazy.
3.
Now,
Wow.
if you don't mind, I want to go next on my say before you say anything,
Well,
Sean.
really quick.
Oh, go for it.
Yeah, it's just that when you have to cut down one of those trees, you have to like clean it out. That's the thing. There's like, I'm not saying, you know, there's, you know, important stuff in there, but there's probably like bird trees all over there and stuff like, you know, I mean, bird nests all over those trees and stuff like that. So that means a whole day is just devoted to just basically gutting the top of the tree
Basically,
Yeah.
and then cleaning up on top of that as well too.
it's a process, and then you
Yeah.
have to de-root everything and make sure that the roots haven't affected anything
Yeah.
important.
So
and-
Greenleaf is going to be shut down for
Yeah.
quite some time.
which is what they're saying is that
Yeah.
because it's a 3-year process, it's going to be 3 years of inconvenient or construction work or something like that. Here's my take on this: as someone that has grown up their entire life here in Whittier, it does need to have some sort of beautification or some sort of process to kind of get it up and going again, because
Yeah.
there are a lot of old buildings up here. You can't have just something that has existed for decades out in the street and expect it to be in working condition into 2024.
Yeah.
That makes 100% sense, right? I won't say that I'm against this or that I am for it just yet until Whittier comes out. The Whittier City Council comes out and actually puts a proper statement out there
Yeah.
in terms of what they're doing, right? Because one thing I don't like is public outrage with misinformation. And Whittier is such a small town that's starting to get up and going
Yeah.
and becoming more noticeable, that if the public starts making an outcry and then it turns out that there is an actual process and there is a good process going forward with it, then we just look like idiots,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
it's important to kind of keep
Yeah.
a level head to see what the plan is.
That's the thing.
Now, granted, the people will know what they're talking about a lot more times here in Whittier, simply because from my experiences, Whittier tends to have this problem where they have big dreams, big hopes, and big plans. They start it, and then they don't end up finishing it.
Yeah.
And that's my fear. What is your timeline? What is your process? And how are you going to go about this to make sure that the end result is exactly what you guys are wanting to do? Whittier is a beautiful town. Whittier is a great town. It's got great small businesses. A lot of the store owners, a lot of the people that started here, their businesses are so devoted to what they're doing. They actually care about their businesses. If you're going into Greenleaf, taking down trees, doing all this construction, and the end process is a half-assed project because you guys didn't want to put in the funds or overspent on something, and now you guys are quickly rushing it to finish on time, you're going to be the laughing stock here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think Whittier City Council needs a good kick in the butt, respectfully,
Yeah.
and understand that when you guys are going to be doing this, your heads will be on the chopping block if this does not come out the way it's supposed to. Because some of the renders that they have for this promenade, they look fantastic. It looks pretty good,
Yeah.
right? So make it that good. And not just make it good, make it even better. because Whittier is not going to be just some ranky danky town that has a history. It has to be a town that has evolved, that flourishes under its local businesses, that understands the community and what they want, and embrace that. So make it good, make it count, and if you're going to take down the trees, do something good with the wood.
Yeah, do a good job.
Yeah.
Just do a good job if you're going to do that. If you're wanting to do like an ambitious project like that, show us that you can do it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I've only been here living in Whittier for the past 4 years. I moved here in 2020 and I'm coming from East LA. Like when they started taking down the trees over there, it looked disgusting. It looked so bad and I hated it because like it was jarring. Like most of my life I'm used to the shade and walking around and just it's a staple, you know. And then from it going from like 1 month to the next and it's just like open skies and which it's not bad, but it was just really jarring and I'm like, damn, I don't like this. And now that I hear that they're going to do this here, I'm like, okay, to play devil's advocate, I understand where they're coming from. And like, if the businesses are like, well, hey, the infrastructure is kind of failing. I mean, my friends that work at Guildhall, they have plumbing issues every single month where they can't even take a shower. They can't even flush the toilet. And it's like, it's a Band-Aid job that they just do. They come in, the plumbers fix it real quick. Sure enough, a couple weeks later, 2-3 weeks later, the sewer water shooting up through their bathtub, and it's like, well, okay, if you guys want to tackle that issue that I guess it's happening in a lot of places, do a good job. And I mean, if it's the infrastructure is not that great and it's gonna start messing up, you know, the businesses and the plumbing, mainly the plumbing. Like someone's like, well, why don't they just fix the plumbing? I'm like, saying one thing and like actually realizing you would have to shut down so many water lines. You would, I mean, businesses wouldn't even be able to function. So it's like they can work around it with the construction going on, but if there's no running water in like these restaurants and businesses, they're gonna be losing so much money, and they won't even know like how long they're gonna need to be shut down. And it could take one route to just rupture like a water line, and then oh my god, what do we do now?
So that's what happened with us here. I think it was from this tree that's in the front right here, because this tree's old. So we've had plumbing issues like before a year ago now, and when the moment we moved in here, we just had bad, you know, plumbing issues with the toilet here. Come to find out that this store was connected to the hair salon place right next to us. It used to be one.
Oh.
Then they put a wall right there and stuff. Now it's separate. So basically we share the same pipes with the bathroom with the hair salon as well too. But the thing is that with the hair salon, they have the root problem in the piping. So for the longest time, they've had roots in there. So when they, you know, and so when they like flush sometimes, you know, their toilet paper will get stuck and you find out that there's like a big root like this thick just across their pipe.
Yeah.
And then it's just over time they have to constantly snake it out. Basically, they just put a Band-Aid on it. You know, they would never they never fixed it until maybe a year ago now, where basically the owners of the building here that we rent here, they're just like, you know what, we're getting tired of it. We'll invest in basically getting it done. So basically, the plumbers had to come in, it's like saw through the pipes and stuff like that, cut out all of that roots that was just like collective in the piping, and put in a whole new piping system and stuff like that. They actually separate it, so now we have two pipes. It's two separate pipes going to this water sewage and stuff like that. So now it's better now, but yeah, for the longest time that was our biggest problem, was just the roots would just get into the piping over time. They would just like kind of cut it and then not seal it. That's the thing.
Yeah, it's just the Band-Aid problem.
Yeah, and then the roots would just grow back into it
But
again.
see, those are good devil's advocate points as to why the trees might need to go.
Yeah.
Because
That's the thing,
trees are becoming a problem.
Oh
for
yeah,
some
I'm only
businesses.
assuming certain businesses are affected by the pipings and
Which,
stuff like that.
that makes
from the
sense.
roots. Yeah,
100% makes sense.
Yeah.
Now to
It's
go,
the execution of how Whittier's going to be moving forward. It needs to be done right. I don't know I haven't been here long enough to see what kind of like ambitious projects Whittier has like tried to do in the past, but I would at least hope with something this have they ever done anything to like this level of
not
like
that
restructuring?
I can think of. Not in a while. Not since I.
Not if it was like putting a new building. You know?
Okay. Well,
But they put in that parking structure there because they
Yeah.
had to get rid of. It was like an open lot for years.
So as far the only experience I've ever had was when my dad used to manage the building, the Whittier building, the Nixon building.
Oh, no way.
He used to manage that, and before Whittier Brewery came in, it was like nightclubs and stuff like that.
Yes.
And the ceiling actually had art on top of it that apparently Whittier City just didn't want to paint over. So that's why it took so long for brewery, I think. I think maybe this is probably the reason why it took them a while to even do what they're doing now. They had to get through like a bunch of like loopholes and obstacles to even try to repaint everything because Whittier just didn't want to paint over that. Again, I'm not speaking for them. I don't know if this is true, but this is just from what my dad told me.
Let's look for city
We should
council.
also say too that they are planning on putting in trees, planting
Yes.
new trees. That's another thing we didn't mention.
Small branches, smaller trees. But again, going back to Sean's point, the shade is one thing, and
That's the thing,
it's
yeah.
very iconic. Like I
think-
catch myself driving through Uptown Whittier
think he
sometimes
said
at
that.
night. Huh?
I think he mentioned the shade. It was
Yeah,
you.
that was
Oh,
gonna
you
say,
did, okay.
Yeah, the shade. I was gonna say because I think what it is too is that they know that shade's important, so they're gonna try. That's why they're replanting trees. They're not gonna. It's not gonna be bare for the rest of Uptown Whittier at that point. See, like you did mention, it is very jarring, and I think it's gonna be It's gonna be very.
I want to see what kind of trees they plant though, because from what I understood is that they're the small branched ones, like the ones that are like barely baby tree saplings. You can buy some pretty decently sized trees that'll grow into big ones.
Yeah.
And I kind of hope that they do plan to make it look nice if that's the thing. Just to kind of wrap up this topic, because I don't want to bore people with this, but it is something important to us because we are based here in Whittier.
We record here in Uptown Whittier.
We record in Uptown Whittier. We love this city. We cover a lot of stuff that happens here. You know, Uptown Comics or Uptown. What is
LA
it?
Comic Fest.
LA Comic Fest.
Yeah.
Whittier Comic Fest, not LA Comic Fest.
sorry. Yeah, Whittier Comic Fest.
Whittier
Oh my
Comic
God, I'm so
Fest is a
sorry.
huge thing. Primetime collectibles. We've had multiple people. Central City Tattoo.
Tattoos, yeah.
There's a lot of primetime and. Guildhall. We always talk about the local business here in Uptown. We support them.
Providence.
With Providence Bakery, bro.
Yeah.
Come on. Like, we
Great
love this
coffee.
city.
Yeah.
Great cafe de olla.
Yes.
We love this city. We want the best for the city. We're only talking about this now because we've just heard about it.
Yes.
We
If there's
literally
more
heard about it
details-
Came out today. Yeah.
If there's more info that comes out on it, we'll definitely talk about it more. But for now, this is just our take on it, and hopefully it helped out for some of our listeners that are interested.
Yeah.
Some insight,
Some insight.
to the community.
Yeah.
You know.
Details, if necessary, will be in the description down below.
Yeah.
And feel free to comment down below as well if you guys have any thoughts on this.
Yeah,
because
what do you
it's
guys
definitely
think? You
important.
know,
Yeah.
like, are you for it? Are you against it? Like, you want to call the Lorax? Danny DeVito's gonna just come in and be like, "Ugh,
You gotta save the trees.
save the
Ed
trees.
Helms is gonna be how bad can I be?
Let it die, let it die, let it shrivel up and die."
I love it. Oh, that's so great.
Sean's just fitting right in. Huh?
Yeah.
This is great job, dude.
I forgot about that part. Let it die. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying this is what Uptown's saying, but can you imagine that's what they were doing? Let it die. Let it die. Let it shrivel up and die.
I'm gonna see if I can make like a suit with like really pointed like shoulder pads and just get like a little bowl cut wig and just go in like cut the tree. No,
Bro, you know what you should do? You should find a Lorax costume and at like 5 a.m. just walk around Uptown
Amazon.
Whittier. Instead of the Star Wars guy, dude, be the Lorax guy. Walk around Uptown
It'd be
Whittier.
the Lorax.
Yeah, and then you got to make a Danny DeVito voice.
Oh man.
Did you know there's apparently there's an Uptown Batman?
What?
Yeah, I don't like him though.
Is that you?
I don't like him though.
Have you met him?
Yeah, he's came in here on Batman Day. He's all like, he comes in, he's wearing like the Adam West Batman suit.
Oh,
He comes
okay.
in, he's all just looking around. He goes, "So I hear today's Batman Day." I'm like, "Oh, God damn it!" I was like,
Pretentious.
and I'm like, "Yeah." He's all,
What do you want?
yeah, and then he's just looking around. He's like, "I love Batman." I'm like, "I know, I can tell." I don't know what the costume kind of gave it away.
You know what?
But then no, okay. So then I was doing a sale on top of that. And, you would think he likes Batman Day. Support your local comic book store. Looks around, walks out.
Very
They didn't
un-Batman.
spend a dime.
Not even one issue?
Not even one issue
Not
of something.
A $5 issue?
No. That's why I don't like him.
That's Bizarro Batman right
Yeah.
there.
That's Bizarro
That's
Batman.
Bizarro.
I was like, I
Wait,
guess
what's the
I guess
best
Bruce Wayne was
Batsuit?
on a budget.
Should have been like, what's the best bat suit?
Oh, Batman 2.
Raw,
Batman Beyond.
George Clooney's bat nips.
Schumacher, suck up. Whatever. Get outta here.
Well, guys,
Yes.
moving on with the issue. We've got a pretty hefty issue for you guys.
Yes.
Sean will be doing comic strips this
What?
week. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Guest starring, guest hosting, and producing comic strips.
Yeah, so if you
actually
hate the
produce
content, just
Yeah.
them. Oh, we'll give
throw
you
it
his
at me.
address.
Throw it at me.
We'll throw the
Alright.
addresses your way.
Yeah, if
Do
you
not
guys
dox
like
me.
Sean, go ahead and give a like it down.
It's,
If you don't like Sean, too bad.
Yeah.
he's gonna
Suck it up.
be he's gonna be our replacement soon.
Right?
Right?
To all
It'll
my
just be
haters out
Sean.
there,
It's just the
Or-
Sean. Keep it up with Sean.
stay 28.
Sean,
I
we're all
ran
going
out
to take a
of
vacation
electricity.
next week, so you're on your own, bud.
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
All right, there you go. It's
Me,
just-
myself, and I got
Yeah.
so many personas,
you got to go through
dude.
every single seat. Just
Yeah.
go around.
If you guys don't know,
You're gonna edit it,
I think
though.
we can mention
Can we?
it, right?
Should we mention it?
Yeah, I mean, well, Nick's not here, but I don't think he will mind.
Are you sure?
I'm fine with it.
Okay, so can we put a disclaimer?
Executive, yeah.
This
This is what me and Bryan
Okay,
said. Yeah.
okay, go.
So, Sean is basically our official fourth member, but he won't be joining us every issue. He will be here in certain videos. He'll probably help us out with production as well too. And then when one of us is out, he'll be standing in for one of us.
I'm gonna be the gopher.
He's
Yeah.
our Keeping Up with the Nerds fluffer.
Yeah. Keeping you guys hard and
Yeah.
firm all day.
So essentially, kind of expect Sean to, because he's on a probation period right now.
Yeah,
Is
we're
it
testing
your
him out.
probational
Yeah.
period. So we're gonna make sure we're gonna train you on this whole production process, how we do things.
Yeah.
You're
teach
gonna
me
learn how
the
to
ins
write
and
a
outs.
script.
Yeah.
You're gonna learn how to cover certain things. You're gonna be, like Rene said, one of our covers just in case we can't make it. And then you also wanted to learn some editing, so that's
Yeah.
great. But yeah, so Sean will be in and out of the content every now and then. So welcome Sean in the comments down below, guys, if you guys like him, or tell him to f off.
Yeah, if you
whichever
don't
one.
if you don't like me, I wouldn't mind reading
No,
some hate. I really I thrive off
Any
of it.
sort of
so
criticism
feed me.
is good criticism.
Exactly.
Good
You
criticism.
can say the meanest thing to Sean,
Yeah.
and he'll just cry in his
Yeah.
sleep. And
Go
He'll still
kill
be here.
myself, dude.
He'll still
come
be here.
on. I tell
Yeah.
myself that in the mirror every day when I wake up.
he wakes up, goes to the bathtub, fills it up with water, steps in, grabs a toaster, and goes like, "Not today."
Not today. Yeah.
I can't. Not today. Not today.
Yeah.
So
My
comic-
thoughts will not win today.
Shut up. Chrissy just opens the door like, oh, another episode? Okay. Just close it.
It's not a phase, all right.
So I am.
One of these days, I'm gonna go through with it.
It's not a phase. It's a lifestyle.
So Sean produced comic strips. We're also going to be talking about Self-Reliance, the film directed by Jake Johnson. Renee and I watched it over the week. And we're going to be talking about Ted, the
Yes.
surprise hit
Sleeper
show.
sitcom show.
Seriously.
Coming out of 2024.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Starting off the year strong with this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm liking it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and start with comic strips. Sean,
Is
you
it
know
okay?
how to,
Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead.
Away we go. All right.
Sean, go ahead and introduce it. My voice is
So-
still recovering, all right? dude?
Okay.
You're fine.
No, don't say I'm fine.
So
don't
I-
patronize me.
So, I mean, I guess it's kind of
Girl,
like
you're
old
fine.
news. Golden Globes, they happen. You know.
No, introduce comic
So-
strips the way
Oh,
I do
comic
it.
strips.
So,
Thank you.
Comic
Yeah.
strips.
No, you got to do it the same. Oof.
Comic strips.
Oh my god.
Comic strips. So,
Portion of the show.
portion of the show where we talk about
Topics.
topics
Don't
that don't
merit a 10 to 15 minute conversation.
don't last more than 10 15 minutes
that's
conversations, without us going on a tangent. Nick, which is not here. Okay, so we're good.
Hey, he got it down.
There you go. Yeah, all by yourself, buddy.
Yeah. Doing it, ma. So,
I did it.
first thing on the docket. I mean, we all saw the Golden Globes. I know I didn't, but I'm pretty sure
I
if
did.
you watch TikTok, which a lot of us do, we
I
kind of
deleted it.
saw the
Saw the
clips
great,
of-
good memes from
yeah,
there.
it's,
Yeah.
Roy what's his name? I don't want to say it wrong.
Who?
Joe Coy.
Joe
Joe
Coy.
Coy.
Joe Coy kind of bombed in a very
Oh, because he talked about Taylor Swift.
he
And
was
everyone's
kind
like,
of rude to
"No."
Taylor Swift, and then he made the whole weird like Barbie Ken joke.
Oh, okay. I
And
did see that.
Then
yeah.
he got peeved. He got really mad when people weren't laughing, and I feel like maybe this might have been like on the production side of it because I guess it was live, but
Yeah.
there's like that delay. They were probably increasing the volume on the mics where people are laughing to make it seem like
Yeah.
the auditorium
we
is
got,
laughing.
we got a couple chuckles.
Yeah, you should be quiet. You're laughing at the ones that I wrote. Like, come on. First off, if if you're an entertainer and you're bombing, you do not want to dig yourself in that hole. That was kind of weird.
And then now it's basically like everyone's like, Joe Coy's not funny anymore. He's like, oh, if you really look at his jokes, he's not funny. I'm like,
He's
I've never even
funny.
heard of Joe Coy.
really?
He's a very funny Filipino comedian.
Yeah.
Like great.
Here's the thing. I watched the Golden Globes, and he did bomb. The thing is like, the way I see it is that if you're a comedian and your jokes don't land, transition out and do something different.
Yeah.
Like, you're supposed to improv.
Yeah.
But, like, if he's not doing that and he's still going for the script, then you're kind of just digging
don't-
your own grave
that's
at that
the thing,
point.
yeah.
And the
Don't worry
Taylor
about the
Swift joke,
script, yeah.
the Taylor Swift joke was
Yeah.
the one that kind of irked me.
What'd he say?
Because
Yeah.
it was basically him going, like, the only show on television where the cameras won't constantly feature Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Because we're not the NFL. And
Yeah.
I'm just like,
Well,
I
Emma
think
Stone
was
it was
pissed.
it
She
was
was pissed
But why,
with it.
Why was
why are
she
you gonna be
mad?
pissed? Like, that's the thing, is
Yeah.
that you know the attention. Granted,
Yeah.
you're not asking for the attention. I
Yeah.
understand that. With all due respect, you're not asking for the attention,
Yeah.
and I don't. And I think that if you want to keep private
Yeah.
matters to yourself, then yeah, you more than 100% deserve
Yeah.
deserve that, right? But if a comedian's roasting you for certain things, you're kind of fair game in a way, right?
She's getting roasted for existing, and I mean, like, okay, if the NFL is like putting more camera shots of her, it's
They
because
do.
they
In
want
every-
more,
in
you
every
know,
Chiefs,
Swifties.
was it Chiefs?
The Chiefs, yeah.
The Chiefs, every Chiefs game, they always pan to her whenever, like,
Why?
you know, that's
She's
the thing.
not asking for it.
No,
I mean, they're
but I'm
just doing
saying-
it because it's marketing.
But I'm saying she should know that in her status in this world, she is basically like a Kardashian at this point, where it's like anywhere she's at, people are gonna freak
Yeah.
out. That's
I
the thing.
will say that I think the best way to have that joke transition well
Yeah.
would have been to kind of say it the way he said it,
Yeah.
but then throw shade specifically at the NFL.
That's
Yes.
the thing.
Yes.
He should have made fun of the NFL focusing
exploiting
on
her.
her,
Mhm.
for
Exactly.
exploiting her, then
Because-
rather than going for her, which is fine. Yeah.
Because she has no decision or no
didn't
say
like
in the
it.
matter
That's
for
the
it,
thing.
Yeah.
which I 100% understand.
Yeah.
Because, like, granted, no one wants to be in the public limelight like that, right?
No.
Especially with, and we've talked about this before,
Mm-hmm.
you know, where she's known to write breakup songs and, you know, write,
Yeah.
you know, like, basically if she breaks up with a dude, that's it, it's over.
Yeah.
That dude's life
I
is
give it a
like,
year.
yeah, exactly. So,
Watch, yeah. She's
Yeah.
gonna talk about the NFL.
there you go. So that's what's gonna happen. That's usually what happens, right?
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, the NFL is known to try to, you know, grab as much money where it can.
Yeah.
And right now, it's focusing on Taylor Swift and the Swifties to come in to buy the Chiefs merch
yeah,
to then popularize it and get more free money at this point in time. If anything, I mean, Taylor Swift doesn't have to say anything. I
Yeah.
think this is just public knowledge that the public should know that the NFL can be scummy, and it is pretty scummy.
Yeah.
totally.
Same thing with
It's the
Swifties.
NFL.
But
yeah.
Joe Coy should have transitioned that joke better.
Yeah.
He could have.
You could have.
He could have been more graceful about the whole
Exactly.
situation, and there was just no grace
See,
at all.
see what's great about, you know,
I expected more from him.
I think he wanted to be like Ricky Gervais, where he's very unapologetic. But the thing is that Ricky Gervais is very much unapologetic,
Yeah.
but with a charm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the Emmys?
No.
No.
Who was the host of the Emmys this year? Can you look him up real quick?
Yeah.
I forget his name, but he has done it. Oh, Chrome is already open.
right.
Just open the tab. He has done it before, and he has this bit where he talks to his mom while she's in the audience. You'll see his name.
Oh, the
Anthony Anderson.
Yeah.
yeah.
He hosted the Emmys pretty well, but
Yeah.
his whole bit, which is pretty funny, is that his mom will interrupt every now and then when he has a monologue or when he has to present
Oh,
something.
okay, yeah,
And it's a very cute dynamic. And
Yeah.
I think that that's kind of the humor that you need to have here.
You
And
need a bit.
You need a bit. You need
Yeah.
to make your own bit.
Yeah, and Joe Coy really doesn't have a bit.
Which-
I mean,
No.
his main bit is that he grew up in a Asian style lifestyle and
Yeah.
stuff like that, and
Exactly.
he could have done something with that.
Yeah.
He could have done something.
You also
It
got to
was just
understand.
rapid fire jokes.
Yeah.
Kind of, you know, there was really no flow, and it
Yeah.
did seem like he was, you know, going off of memory. It
Yeah.
didn't seem like, because I do like to watch like some comedians. I mean, I saw the new Dave Chappelle one, but his pacing was not there. The delivery wasn't there, and he
Dave
wasn't. No.
Oh, Joe Coy?
Joe Coy,
Okay.
and he didn't know how to work the crowd.
That's true. Yeah.
Like none of that was there for a comedian who I mean at least his caliber and who like has these sold out, well, not sold out, but like
Yeah.
these massive like, you know,
Yeah.
shows.
Yeah.
And then for him to do this, it's like, have you been writing your jokes yourself this entire time? It kind of makes me think like, Do you have ghostwriters?
Maybe.
Is
Sometimes
it-
that
I don't
happens
know.
too. Yeah.
I also want to say that the Golden Globes and the Emmys have like different vibes. I don't like the Golden Globe vibe
Mm-hmm.
because the Golden Globe vibe is very much like a jazzy nightclub kind of
Yeah.
thing where everyone's sitting at like tables with a nice little centerpiece, and I feel like they're trying to go for a comedy club aspect to it,
Yeah.
and I feel like they need to change that
Yeah.
because it doesn't work. They've tried comedian after comedian after comedian.
Yeah.
It doesn't work for me. The Emmys was more of a presentation. Everyone's
Yeah.
in a theater watching something,
Yeah.
and the monologue bits are like you're over and done with after 2 minutes. There's no
Yeah.
reason why Joe Coy should have
Wrap
been
it
on
up.
there for 10 minutes.
Yeah. Honestly, I mean, I feel unanimously we all can agree that the Kids' Choice Award is probably the best tier of like, award
What's the
ceremony.
Nickelodeon one where they dump slime?
The
Kids' Choice Awards.
Okay, yeah, that's it.
I want to see
Slime,
someone
yeah.
get
Do
slimed.
like
Katy Perry almost,
Yeah.
almost got killed. Like when
Oh,
they
yeah,
just
just went
blasted
in
her
her
in the
nose.
face.
Yeah.
Can you mark it down 40.44 on there? Send it over the chat.
Sorry.
No, you're good, dude. You're allowed one. You're supposed to be Nick, remember? Nick owes
right.
us 25 cents.
Oh, he does.
Yeah, now he owes us. So
I
anything you say.
have a quarter in my bag too.
We'll just know. Any because you're a stand-in for Nick. So any curse words you say, Nick has to.
So just go for 2 minutes worth of it. Rack up $100 in debt.
No,
Go for it,
I
dude.
don't wanna, you're gonna edit it. I mean, I
That's
want to
true.
do
I
that
can
to
just
you.
add a long bleep.
Oh, okay.
Or what if I just add bleeps? Make it think that you're the one that's cussing right now.
No.
And then he thinks he owes $100.
I mean, you can do that.
Yeah.
But then he's gonna end up watching the show while he's driving over, and he's gonna be like,
What? I'm not
paying that.
All right, what's the next topic?
next one. Wizards of the Coast is in some pretty hot water right now because.
When aren't they?
Oh, well, I mean, this.
Mind
one,
you, this is the first like board game thing that we're talking about on comic strips. So you know how this is Sean doing comic strips this week.
True.
I like Magic,
Yeah.
and I feel like this is a really interesting
nerd.
one because it does. Of course. I mean, why else would I be here?
Go on. Yeah.
Wizards of the Coast gets called out for actually using AI art on one of their Twitter posts promoting their new Shocklands.
That's pretty interesting. That's pretty interesting, honestly. You
And
know,
they
makes you
just
think.
laid off 1,100 people back in December,
Yeah.
beginning of December, right before Christmas. Like all these.
Does that include artists that've been working with them?
artists? Yes.
Yeah.
They laid off that many staff members all at once, and then the next month, they end up posting on Twitter and this blatant AI image, and people are calling them out, and they double down. And I feel like this is where they really messed up. They double down, saying this is not AI art. This is actually done by our artists in house. People started dissecting it, and when you look at the image, it just has that AI sepia kind of like filter on it, and then you start zooming in. The chords are like melding into like one at a certain point, and they kind of like break off. The numbers on the steampunk dial are not like numbers. They're starting to like deform, and it's funny. It got to a point that one of the biggest artists, I mean, I feel like if you people might know this name, Dave Raposa, very big artist, and he does a lot of Magic cards. He has like over 60 cards that he's done art for, pretty much saying, if this is the direction that Wizards is going to be going, I am officially cutting ties with them. I am no longer going to be working with them. And he is now encouraging other artists to break ties with Wizard. I don't know what's going on at Wizards of the Coast. It's bad, but it does bring this topic now. Like, is this going to be a thing moving forward for Magic cards and just like any form of TCG? Are they going to be getting lazy and now just instead of hiring artists, paying this money, now just we'll have AI do it, and
Yes. That's it. No, it's going to go in that direction.
That's the
Eventually.
thing. That's a company that thrived for years on its art.
That's
for
what
its
got me
cards.
into the game. That was
That's the
the
thing.
thing that got me into
Yeah.
Magic to begin with, was the art. When
Yeah.
I saw the art on those cards, I fell in love. I love art.
Hardcore Magic players will know who drew what, and only will. I've seen it before. Will they only collect of a certain artist or want a certain artist rendition
Yes.
of a card?
I think Wizards kind of has lost this vision that they've had for a while already.
From what I've heard too, yeah.
Yeah, which is to kind of just like produce content that matters to certain people. And it's, I mean, granted, it's been like this for quite a while
Yeah.
already, where they're just making content and collaborations to see how much more money they can pull from you.
Mm-hmm.
I want to collect the Fallout Commander decks that's coming out for Magic. $300 for 18 packs.
Yeah.
Or $60 for one pack.
Yeah.
When Sean and I did the research, or Sean did the research for me, like a Commander deck was usually what, like $40-$30 sometimes.
Yeah.
It drops down in price, but they were like doubling it because it's Fallout, and they knew that
It's
that
FOMO. It's FOMO in
Yeah.
the beginning. The prices are always. I mean, it happened with the Warhammer decks when they came out with them. You know, the full foil commander decks. You can get all 4 of them for almost $900. Some people were selling them for $1,000. Now you can find them for like $600,
Yeah.
$580. You know, and that is practically half the price in the matter of like 2 to 3 months since they came out. You just have to wait. They're not gonna print enough of a product because they want that money. They're not gonna do limited releases like they did back then.
I follow this YouTube Shorts channel called like Pokemon News something. I forget what it is, but they like show off like the different shiny sprites for Pokemon on in the video games and stuff. But they did this one short, which is kind of funny, of the artist that does the clay versions of Pokemon for their TCG.
Yeah.
And they were bringing up the fact that this person, I forget her name, she's been doing it for like years and years and years, and he showed off one of her most recent ones from this new set that they just came out, and then one of her first cards that came out, and it's this very like weird looking, very 90s, you know, produced clay version of Pokemon cards that did not look well. And now she's making like clay versions of Pokemon that are set in really good backgrounds, really nice. Art matters in TCG.
Definitely.
It's definitely a lot of collectors will do that. And granted, I think you and I, when we collect cards, we're always looking for which one looks the nicest to kind of show off.
Oh, totally.
Right? So I think if Wizards of the Coast goes this AI route, we've discussed this before, AI should be used as a tool, not as a replacement.
Yes.
But most companies still want this aspect of like, well, if we need 10 different artists to make a set for a card set, then why don't we just fire them all, save ourselves money, and make AI art?
I mean, that's so scummy.
Yeah,
that is
that's true.
so scummy. And what really peeved me is that so many people lost their jobs right before Christmas. I myself, at one point in my life, have been fired a week before Thanksgiving. That is such a terrible feeling, knowing that how am I going to now be able to afford the gifts that I want, or, you know, just travel to see my family. It puts a lot of like strain on people.
Yeah.
And for them to just do this out of corporate greed, I blame Hasbro, and Hasbro is nosediving right now.
Yeah.
They're doing terrible. What other, like, who wants to buy like your 10th version of Monopoly, Rick and Morty version, exclusive deluxe edition that's you know, the anniversary of whatever, because they're always doing that's
Distribution of funds, my friend. I mean, look at what happened with She-Hulk. Like, She-Hulk is like what, $225 million for 8 episodes.
allegedly 220 million, but it is around 200 million
200 million
for the entire series.
And I think Avengers Endgame only cost like 200 million to make,
yes,
and that's like a 2-hour movie that looks
20 million to make for the movie.
No, it's 200 for Avengers Endgame. I think it was 200 million. There's absolutely no way that She-Hulk and
220 million to make Avengers, because actually
220. Oh yeah, go for it.
220.
Go for it.
It's funny. Yeah, so we're now going to piggyback. I mean, this has been a topic. I mean, you might have heard rumors floating around since like late October. Apparently, Tatiana Maslany has now allegedly been, from her words, not specifically stating I'm fired, but she was on the, let me see, Codename Podcast.
See, I'm not the only one that
Oh,
can't read
she
my
was on the
notes.
podcast?
Yes,
Okay.
she was on the podcast, which I believe was earlier this week.
Yeah.
And someone had asked her the question about season 2 of She-Hulk when they're expecting it, and she said, and I quote, "I don't think so. I think we blew the budget," and Disney was like, "No thanks." It cost them $220 million to make this series, and for it to perform the way that it did with the CG that it had, terrible. Like it's now. I don't think Disney is going to be wanting to move forward with any more She-Hulk, and allegedly it was stated that Ryan Reynolds had fired her because the Disney executives did give him creative control over Deadpool 3, which that movie is going through so many issues with mainly the third act of the film right now.
I think it's mostly because he wants to incorporate certain MCU characters.
Yes.
And She-Hulk would have been perfect.
Yeah, totally. Because they
To
both
add
hit the fourth
on
wall.
with Deadpool as well too.
Yeah.
Both characters that, like you said, break the fourth wall and stuff like that.
My take on this is that I think we kind of mutually agreed amongst you and Nick and I that She-Hulk wasn't a terrible show.
It wasn't bad, but it had so much potential.
It had a lot of potential.
Yeah.
We wanted something different.
Yeah.
We're okay with what we got, but we would have liked it in a different direction.
That's the thing.
The thing is that when you're spending $225 million on a TV show
Yes.
that has less than 10 episodes, I think it's like 9 episodes,
Yeah,
right?
9 or 8, yeah.
Where the hell did you put that money? Like
That's
that show should
what I
have
wanna
cost you
know.
less
Yeah.
than like maybe 80 million. I would have put maybe 50 million into a show that's 10 episodes long, especially with that much CGI because you have to make She-Hulk.
Your character is CGI.
Is CG'd.
like 80% of the time.
So I understand there's a budget, right? But where the hell did the other $200 million go?
The
what
visual
did you
effects crew was overworked and was meeting unrealistic deadlines to a point where the movie, the show was already in post-production, and at that time they were still rendering 3D scenes for the show episode to episode as it was releasing. So they're trying to catch up with like the next episode, and they're still editing and doing all these final things for it, and it's like how was this?
Mind you, this was the
possible?
peak of like how editors were being treated and stuff like that during this time.
But see, that ends up becoming a problem in production.
Yeah.
Not for the editors. Because how poorly mismanaged do you have to make this project, or how poorly mismanaged are you making this project happen?
Oh, clearly.
Right? I don't know if that made any sense, but like,
well, that's the thing is that like this was during when like, you know, they're working on phase 4 and stuff like that. They're trying to build up Kang on top of that. So Marvel is not seeing everything happen, and they're just basically yelling from the distance, "Get this done! Get this done!" Okay, make sure we
Faster,
have
faster.
Make sure Jonathan Majors is, you know, doing in this part and stuff like that. And they're already working on Loki.
well, they had no idea.
That's the thing.
Here's the really stupid thing about what's going to happen with the MCU right now. They are not claiming they're starting from square one,
No.
but they are essentially starting from square one.
Yeah.
That's hard to do.
That
but
is
I
very
feel
hard
like
to do as you
it
keep
needs
making
to be
shows
done
happen.
at this point.
Yeah.
So my question is this, and I don't like this from the public. I'm very against it. I feel like I'm against every MCU hater just because their entire argument is based around the fact that they're biased about it and want it to fail. My take on it is this.
That's not true. That's not my opinion, but I
No, but I mean,
You
don't-
had
there's
a good structure.
There's jaded people out there.
Yeah, there's a good
I'm
structure in the
slightly
MCU.
jaded.
Yeah.
I'll admit it.
There is Marvel will never admit that there was no idea what to do with Phase 4.
They can't. No
Now-
company will ever admit that they
No,
failed.
but with Jonathan Majors gone and Kang essentially not being a thing, even
Yeah.
if you cannot recast them in the
Kang-not?
role, cannot. Now you're gonna make me say it. Cannot. If you cannot recast them with the potential potential actor that you wanted to,
Yeah.
who was it that we were saying would be a good replacement for him? He was Finn in Star Wars.
John Boyega.
John Boyega.
John
He said he
Boyega.
doesn't
Give
wanna
him
do it.
another shot in Hollywood. Yeah.
He doesn't want to.
No,
Okay,
which is
so that's
fair.
fine. So then recast him somewhere else. The beauty about Kang is that he's a very fluid-looking character.
Yeah.
He changes appearances
The
constantly.
multiverse is a
yeah.
thing now. You can just
Yeah.
get
just
to almost
recast,
anyone.
and it's the world of freaking comics, and
Yeah.
I think a lot of producers don't understand that.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're going to, and I read this IGN article
Mm-hmm.
where someone was writing about like, well, Kang was not the best option. Like, get rid of him. It's like, no, finish his story.
Yeah.
He had a good potential story, and he's a great villain.
He can still be good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I
Now,
want Doctor Doom
we all want
to
Doctor Doom.
be like the next Thanos
We want-
equivalent.
You could,
you know,
you could still do Doctor Doom, but at the same time, you know, that's two major villains, you know, you're putting in. but you could set up Doctor Doom.
You can,
you
but
can.
don't
Yeah.
It was already
set up.
foreshadowed in Moon Knight.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
I mean,
But that's the thing is that if you're going to use Doctor Doom, I don't want him to be a rush build character where you actually have him
Yeah.
like for 2 years and then you unleash him on the world. No,
No.
Doctor Doom
pacing
needs to be
Yeah.
the next Thanos that takes 10 years to develop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he is a great villain with a lot of potential that makes a lot of enemies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had this idea that we talked about last issue where Kingpin, now that he's introduced and kind of running things in the street level, he's a great villain. Supposedly he becomes the mayor at the end of Echo.
So that's what
Yeah.
that was the
Yeah.
setup.
He's running
yeah.
for-
which
he's
is
running for
goated
mayor.
That's the
because
thing,
the
yeah.
Kingpin mayor arc in Spider-Man is by far one of the greatest arcs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's Spider-Man essentially going like, I'm not doing this for you, you dumbass. And Kingpin's like, it kind of worked for me. So, you know, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. You're never going to catch me.
I want to see the dynamic between Echo, Daredevil, and Spider-Man. I mean, Echo can read lips,
Yeah.
but Spider-Man has the mask.
Yeah.
You know, so like Daredevil's just gonna kind of be there, like mediating, like, oh, well, he said this, you know, or like, you know, kind of.
Well,
describing
it'll
like,
be
what
an
he's-
interesting dynamic with the characters because street level characters are always going to have their own quips
Yeah.
and they're more untamed. They're
Yeah.
not as organized
Yeah.
as the Avengers.
Luke Cage, Iron Fist, you know.
Oh, those are
Jessica
the big
Jones.
toughies, but I'm
Yeah.
talking about like, you know, Hawkeye's
Kate Bishop.
Kate Bishop. Like Kate Bishop is probably the only like level-headed one there because she was trained under Hawkeye. But everyone else, Miss Marvel with Spider-Man, that's gonna be great.
I would,
Yeah.
I would love to see that kind of energy that the two of them just naturally
Yeah.
have as
Yeah,
actors. and-
it'd be a smart way to bring in the Young Avengers on top of that as well
Yeah.
too.
with Kingpin as the
Yeah,
mayor.
with Kingpin as the mayor, you're bringing in, you know, like you said, Miss Marvel, Kate Bishop, Spider-Man could be part of that as well too for a little bit, you know, and you could allude to Miles Morales later on, you know, as well too. But it's really cool, like you said, the whole mayor Kingpin mayor arc is really good, and it's a good sub threat. You know, we kind of shy away from Kang because, you know, Kang, we can't do anything with King right now. Focus on Kingpin. Focus on that.
yeah.
Hype that up. That's the thing, you know. And with the Daredevil show getting rewritten, but also they're
It
kind
starts
of
this Monday.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
The filming
Yeah.
starts this Monday.
So, I think now with what they left with how Echo is, they want to focus on that more. It only makes sense.
Which is
That's
fine.
the thing. Yeah.
And give Vincent D'Onofrio.
Yeah. Vincent D'Onofrio needs
Great
friggin'
actor.
more
Yeah,
more work
he's
as
great.
Kingpin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not doing Law and Order
no,
anyway. I mean, he
no.
hasn't been in that.
Yeah.
He's fine.
No,
just-
he's great as he
he's
loves
Gomer Pyle.
playing the character as Kingpin, and we love him
Yeah.
as Kingpin.
Yes. Yes. Honestly, I
Yeah.
couldn't pick another like actor
It's-
to play him.
It's weird. He plays it in a different way than what you normally think how Kingpin would be.
He's not okay. I love this version of Kingpin.
Yeah.
Because it's it's like anger management problems, Kingpin.
Yeah.
Where he's just kind of like, you know, maybe these things didn't go my way right now. But
No, but like, the
it's
way
fine.
the
It's
way
fine.
his speech is too.
Yeah.
Yes.
He does it in
The
a way where
delivery.
it's almost awkward, but at the same time you understand it. He talks like this, and I need to do what's best for the city. You know, so,
But less, but more mellow.
Yeah.
More mellow.
Yeah.
And then go ahead. Go play the Kingpin. Play the Kingpin.
That's all I-
We're gonna
Yeah.
improvise the scene.
Pop
Go
off,
for
King.
it.
Pop
Go
off,
for it.
King.
Go for it.
Yeah.
All right, director Sean, go ahead. Just yell action.
yeah.
Action.
So
You're
so
Mayor
inspired.
Kingpin.
I
I'm one
know.
of your goons. I'm one
Okay.
of your
Yeah.
goons. And I just
need
came
you
in.
to do what you need to do.
Boss, but I tried and
I am your mayor. You know what to do.
boss. But
It's
but
not boss. It's mayor.
apologies, Mayor Kingpin. The shipments at the port didn't go through because Spider-Man got so.
I didn't want excuses. Just get your job done.
Yes, Mr. Mayor Kingpin, sir.
You should do some voiceover. Yeah. Like,
And then
like look
yeah.
for some. You know how they do like those comic book readings
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Comic book channels, and they get like different. You should
in
Yeah.
the next
Should
scene,
look into
in
that.
the next scene,
pretty
I
cool.
fail you one more time, and you bring me into your office.
Yeah.
And you tell me it's just like, what did I tell you? Like, oh, I'm sorry. And then you just like tell me to come up to you.
Yeah.
And smack me in the head. Just keep hitting my head against the desk.
Yeah.
Until it's like nothing but mush.
Oh
Yeah, just like a big
yeah.
like bloody pulp.
Yes.
Yeah. No, but that's the thing. It's like that's why I like Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin. He does it in a very his own way.
He does.
But you're not mad at it. You
No,
know?
it's a good way.
Because there's some people that would be like, oh yeah, like that's not how really like Kingpin is, or that's not how like
Okay, well,
certain
those
villains
people can
are.
go back to mommy's
There's
basement.
No, but I'm just
many
saying-
different versions of Kingpin that
That's
we
the thing.
have.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like some people will critique how villains are.
That's cool.
Yeah.
This is Earth 313.
But this is but Vincent
Kingpin.
D'Onofrio's Kingpin is the one that no one will
Imagine
argue.
hating this version of Kingpin. I want to meet that person.
Imagine someone coming up to Vincent D'Onofrio and be like, "Hey, you suck as Kingpin." He's all like, "Come here, come here."
No. That's Gomer
I
Pyle.
take your
No, run
your
away.
criticism good, but you're wrong.
Yeah, that shit
Have you
myself.
ever seen the inside of a dumpster?
I have not.
Well, let me show you.
Is this a sex thing? I feel like this is a sex
It's a
thing.
kink. There's a kink in
Yeah,
there.
right. Dumpster divers.
How many more topics you got on comic
Yeah.
strips?
I also just want to throw out do you know how much it actually took Godzilla -1
To make?
To make?
Yeah.
The full budget.
Yeah, the
no,
full
but
budget.
that's not a real budget.
It's
You're
not a real budget.
It's not a real budget.
You're not a real budget.
I'm not.
You're not.
We're operating under losses.
Yeah.
Keeping Up with the Nerds is losing money.
So you don't know crap.
That's true.
Allegedly 15 million.
No,
make that
10
movie.
million. But
10
the
million?
director
That's
has
even less.
So I'm going to correct you on this one.
Please.
Okay.
Because he's the Godzilla guy.
Well, you're going to
I'm
correct.
not the Godzilla
You're the
guy.
Godzilla guy.
I'm not the Godzilla
You're the
guy.
Godzilla guy.
I am the Godzilla guy.
Yeah, I am the Godzilla guy.
Geekparade.com. You need to correct them.
Okay, so supposedly there are the budget for Godzilla -1 was $10 million. Then it jumped up to $15 million. But there's interviews that because I have a friend who is learning Japanese and pulled up Japanese articles and stuff like that.
Is he
who
turning
basically
Japanese?
Huh?
Is he turning
Turning
Japanese?
Japanese? I think I'm turning Japanese.
What?
Is he turning Japanese?
Japanese?
You really
That
think
song.
so?
What do you
I
say?
think I'm turning Japanese. I think I'm turning Japanese.
I
Stop.
really think so.
Right.
You set me up for that.
We don't want to get copyright stricken, so we
that's
can't
true.
sing
No.
any more than that.
So, but he showed me an article that essentially says that the director kind of alluded to the fact that the numbers were not as accurate as what they were being reported.
Oh, really?
So it's rumored that it's more than $15 million. And I'm going to tell you this, if it's anywhere along the lines of 30, 40, 50 million, I buy that because
Yeah.
there's absolutely no way that the movie looks as good as it did with a $10 million budget.
Oh, by the way, it's
Unless-
coming back in theaters.
Minus
in,
color.
Yes.
Black and
do-
white?
Yeah,
yes.
it's Godzilla -1 minus color.
I do want to see it again.
Yeah.
I would love to. I told Christy, and she's like, "Oh, we're gonna go see it."
Did
All
you
right,
see
cool.
-1?
No,
It's-
Manny doesn't want to see it because she doesn't care.
Well,
for
then don't
Godzilla.
take Manny. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's all go.
Yeah.
All right.
We're
When
gonna
we see the
kidnap you.
Iron Claw.
Ooh, I want to see Iron Claw. I
Yeah,
have not
it's good.
seen it yet. I
Well, if
want
we
to
all
see
go, we all got to bring tissues apparently because
Yeah.
it made
Oh,
Rene
dude,
cry.
you'll cry. You'll cry. I'm gonna stand there and just be like,
it. Hey! I cried with Godzilla. All right, I think I cried at least a solid 3 times when I saw.
Oh
that
no, I
movie.
cried.
Yeah. How can you not? How can you not with that movie?
No, that's true.
Best character redemption arc I've ever seen in a movie.
Did I tell you how it ends?
down.
no.
Oh,
Hands
dude,
down.
don't tell him. Don't tell
Okay.
him.
2 minutes of silence. No, bated breath. No one was even breathing in that theater. I know I was one of them. But
Yeah.
moving forward.
Yes.
So, David Sandberg, the director of Annabelle and the 2 Shazam movies, he's now gonna be throwing in his hat with making a film of Until Dawn, which is a very popular game.
Boo.
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 I mean, I don't want to rank it in that category of, film,
No.
game to film,
No.
but who knows? I mean,
Nah.
that game already pretty much played out like a movie.
There.
You
Then
know?
why do you need a movie?
Well,
Money.
money. Thank you.
Yeah, really?
Munch.
Okay,
For
you know what?
money,
Give me
for money.
$500,000. I'll make that movie.
Will you?
Yeah, I'll make it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is there going to be like sex, score, and rock and roll?
probably. Yeah, drugs.
Will it be
Alright.
successful in the theaters?
No,
Okay, then.
but at least I got. At least I
we're
made
not
a
gonna
movie.
get it.
Will it be Sundance worthy at least?
Okay, really? You really think that this movie they're going to spend maybe upwards to $20 million on this
Yeah.
Until Dawn movie?
Yeah.
And it's not going to make a budget. And if anyone comes up afterwards like, dude, this is such a great scary movie, really? Then play a freaking game. That's why it's there.
I want to know what production company is actually going to be picking it up.
Blumhouse.
Blumhouse?
Yeah.
Okay.
If it's A24, goaded.
Oh,
I'm
it
on
would be
board.
good. It would have been good.
A24, goaded. But A24 smart. They won't do it.
No.
No?
No, Blumhouse.
I mean, we'll see. I mean,
And then,
Annabelle. Honestly, Annabelle was not that bad of a movie.
No,
mean,
that's fine. I mean,
it was
the
okay.
first of every horror movie is not a bad horror movie.
Yeah, I mean,
Look at
Shazam,
The
Conjuring.
The Conjuring. I think the second Conjuring was a little bit better for me. But
No,
the
yeah.
Nun, the
As a
Nun-
story, it was better.
Yeah, I mean,
The third one was
I
Until
They
can't.
needed
Dawn's
to
a
do a
good
third
game.
one.
It is. It's
I
a
never
great
played it.
game.
But you've
never
never
played
seen
it.
the Let's Plays?
I don't watch Let's Plays.
Man. I mean,
It's a good game.
yeah.
Is
The
it a
Quarry
zombie thing or is
No,
it?
it's like a pick your own adventure story
Yeah.
game.
Uh huh.
So like
with
you're,
Wendigo, or well, not Wendigos, but like they're
Oh, and Until
skinwalkers.
Dawn. Why am I thinking of Days Gone By or Days
Oh,
Gone?
No,
I don't know
Days
for
Gone.
some-
No,
yeah.
no, no, no.
Okay,
no.
so
A day
Until
before.
Dawn.
Garbage out of your
Oh,
head.
okay.
A day
sorry.
before.
Go
Yeah.
to the restroom right now and go put water in your ear until it comes out the other way, dude. Clean your brain out, dude. Forget that game.
Until Dawn. So, do you think they'll have Hayden Panettiere in it?
Probably.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Wasn't what's his name? Rami Malek in that game?
Yeah. He
Yes.
was in that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, in those games, I forget what company actually is it Naughty Dog that
No.
makes them, or
It's a Hourglass, something like that.
Yeah.
Hourglass?
Yeah.
I forget the name. I know
they
something
get
with
big
Hourglass.
name actors. I mean, Brenda Song was in the last one, The Quarry, and
yeah.
See, look, that's
Spider
fine.
Man's
They'll probably
brother,
do-
the director. What's his name? Oh my god.
Something Watts?
No, he also did Multiverse of Madness.
Sam Raimi?
Sam Raimi's brother
Oh,
is
it's-
in The Quarry
yeah.
as well.
Oh yeah. See,
Yeah.
that's fine. But play the freaking games. That's why they're there. You're
Well,
making
that's-
a movie. It's a cash grab.
Yeah. That's the thing. So, if
And
they,
what storyline are you gonna go
It's
with?
entertainment, though. You know, I want to be entertained.
Oh my god! So what? Video games aren't entertaining? Is that what we're going for?
No,
Is
I'm
that the
not saying
narrative?
that. I'm not saying that. It's just another form of medium for people to enjoy a story that they might not be exposed to. You know,
Play the game or don't.
my mom doesn't like to watch video games,
that
but she loves
sucks.
horror movies.
That sucks. Either learn how to play a game or
why are you so against it?
because, dude.
Why?
Why not?
I'm curious. I want your perspective. I want to see where you're coming from.
What?
Like, what is
Yeah.
why?
Why?
Yeah.
Okay. Legitimately or
Elaborate.
Elaborate.
Yeah.
Enlighten
You want
me.
the seriousness behind it?
Yeah.
Until Dawn has multiple different branching paths in which
Yes.
the story could end. Which one are you going to choose? Or are you going to make a clue out of this and basically say like, oh well, the one in theaters was one ending, but when it comes out on DVD, you have like 5 alternative endings.
If there's so
Probably.
many, they're probably in the writing room.
Yeah.
All right, guys, who's got a D20? Roll it. All right, okay. And they're gonna continue reading. And they're like, all right, we're at this interjection. Roll another die, and boom.
They're probably going to go towards the more common, endings or common storylines, which
Yeah.
is the Wendigo one.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
Like, okay. But that's the thing is that, for me, I feel like people are going to expect Until Dawn, the game, as a movie.
Oh no.
No. The
not.
expectation should be it's going to be the foundation and idea of what Until Dawn is based on.
Kind of like what we got with FNAF.
Yeah.
You know?
And just make it that way. Because the horror of Until Dawn is the illusion of choice.
Yeah.
That you're making these decisions that lead these characters in certain different ways and paths that cause them to have problems or deaths.
Yeah.
That's the point of Until Dawn. So if you're going to come out in full support of this and then cry about it when the movie sucks, well, then your expectations were pretty much garbage.
Yeah.
If you guys are excited for this because it's a movie, no problem with it.
Let's see.
So your first playthrough, so you played Until
I watched the
Dawn?
Let's Plays.
Oh, okay. Did you play Until Dawn?
I played a bit. I did not end up finishing
Oh,
it.
really?
Yeah.
I finished it. I
My
finished it when I
PlayStation
first
ended
got
up
it.
crapping
Oh yeah,
out on
you
me.
did play it.
I did play it. I forgot because again I was thinking about Days Gone. So when I played it, basically everyone died except for the Asian chick and her,
See,
and her
that's the
boyfriend.
movie. That's the
Yeah.
movie right there.
Yeah.
We should get that one.
Okay.
You heard it here. Whoever gets
Yeah.
the right, hire Rene Bravo.
Let's make a death pool right now
Yes.
and see which characters are actually going to die in it
So-
and see who lives.
So if this becomes a thing, if Until Dawn does take off, then that means they're gonna do other movies or
Yeah.
other games from this. The Quarry
Sure.
was good
Sure.
from what I've seen. It was it looked cool because I like
played
werewolves.
that one yet.
I like werewolves.
Yeah.
So
Okay, sure.
what I like werewolves.
Yeah, it's
Werewolves are
fine.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just.
I'm a lycanthrope.
Well, just Until Dawn is a movie. Boo.
Watch is gonna be like the best video game adaptation. of all time.
Wow. Foot in your mouth,
Yeah.
sir. Foot
I
in your
know.
I
mouth.
will put my foot in my mouth, dude.
I'll pay for that.
I'll buy that for
I'll
$1.
buy that. Hey, you send it too low.
What's the
I'll
next
just give you
one?
5. So next, Ghostbusters. Okay, for Frozen Empire is actually moving up in a week.
That was the one I forgot.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I forgot that one.
So
too.
originally it was set to and I mean that movie was already going through a lot of issues with its release getting pushed back because of the writer strikes, and they had moved it from the 29th, and it's now being to March 22nd, which is actually a few weeks behind Dune Part 2, which is gonna it's gonna be like a good Easter weekend blockbuster, and we're gonna kind of see. I'm interested to see if the hype of Dune 2 is gonna continue.
Yes.
And because honestly, I saw the trailer for this one. I'm stoked. I am so excited.
We were in the pool of loving Ghostbusters Afterlife. Afterlife was pretty dope. Even though people hate
Afterlife
it.
yet. I haven't seen Afterlife
It's
yet.
pretty good, dude.
It's really good.
It's really good. And if you find any haters, tell them to stick a sock in it.
Yeah.
It's a
good
Suck
movie.
my ectoplasm.
There you go. And then
You want to get slime? Let's
yeah,
go
it's
back.
on the list. Suck your ectoplasm.
You just
It
suck
sounds
it.
wrong, dude.
So I'm
Suck your ectoplasm.
I'm kind of interested to see how like this dynamic now is, since I mean, I don't know if it's going to be that big of a deal since it's being moved up a week. You know how it
So Dune
performance-wise.
is not going to be Oppenheimer. It's not an Oppenheimer in
No,
the sense
it's
that
not.
like, oh, everyone needs to go watch this movie. The thing is that the first Dune, for me at least,
It was all right. Well, I think we re-reviewed it 2 years ago now.
actually-
yeah,
like
because Dune guy was just like Dune.
yeah,
I
because
liked
it
Dune.
came.
I was a fan of it.
Yeah,
You were a fan of it?
because it came out during the
Okay.
pandemic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I will say I want to see it in IMAX now that it's coming back because
Yeah.
there were a lot of scenes where like, dude, that would have looked pretty good in
Yeah.
IMAX.
I'm a fan of the original. My dad showed me that movie when I was a little kid, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this movie's amazing!" And now that I rewatch it, oh man, it is not that good. It did not age well, but I mean, it's something that's in my heart that I like.
just-
I'm
hold on.
rewatching it.
what if the Kingpin was a Dune fan? Dune was good. It set up sci-fi. You wouldn't have Star Wars without Dune.
Oh my god,
Dune.
he makes a good.
Dune.
Jeez.
You talk bad about Dune. You say Dune's bad, but it's not.
The spice melange.
I don't know why. I was just talking about it. I'm just thinking in my head, what if Kingpin was a Dune fan?
You're my new headcanon for Kingpin.
Oh my god, it's not going to compete against Dune. There's
What
absolutely
else is coming out that month too? Though I know there's
Planet
something.
Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Is it?
That, and then isn't it also Godzilla and Kong? New
Yes,
Empire?
wait, April. Yes, that's actually
Ripping.
That's
a
that
week or
same
two
kind of
boy.
cycle. Yeah.
April's
My
gonna
boy.
be an interesting, like that Easter block.
Let me see, hold on.
We have like
So our
summer
AMC
blockbusters.
passes are going to be paying.
I feel
its
like I'm
dues.
getting.
I
to get
know,
one
for
of
a
those
while.
now.
We've.
I need to get
It's
one
worth
now.
it.
Oh, I know, yeah, dude.
Just wait
definitely.
until they have the dollar sale again. That's
Oh,
what we
really?
did.
They had a dollar
Yeah,
sale.
it's
for
like
it.
for 3 months you pay like $3.99.
$1.
Yeah, $1, and then after that you pay $25.
$26.99.
Was it $26.99?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I mean, it's worth it because I know Spencer and his now fiance Kat.
Oh.
Yeah,
Congrats,
I
Spencer.
know. They,
I don't think he listens to the show, but congrats, dude.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, Madam Web comes out next month, which we have to see.
Wait a minute. It comes out next month.
Yeah.
Okay, one, why has there not been enough coverage on this?
Because
I mean, I don't even see
We're
ads.
okay, so we're not
The CW production on it.
excited.
Sydney Sweeney's my reason.
no, because you know why?
Yeah.
Ever since we watched Morbius, I never thought a bad superhero movie could make you just feel so much horror.
That's true. Yeah.
And then I watched Morbius, and I'm like, crap, dude.
Dude, did you love the part when he said it's Morbin time?
No, I love the part where the credits rolled and we all walked out of the theater.
Are we gonna watch Challengers?
Challengers?
That's was it the Zendaya movie with the two guys that she
No.
falls in love with? No.
Oh,
I kinda wanna see that.
I would be down to watch that.
Yeah.
You want to watch Saltburn too?
Oh, I want to watch that.
Yeah?
Honestly, I hear that's good.
Okay.
Okay, I'll watch it.
Saltburn.
Alright,
No,
Let's
I'll
watch
watch the
Saltburn.
Challengers.
No,
Why?
and you're gonna watch Saltburn.
Oh, I want to watch it on my own.
That guy has a really weird face for me. He's the one from Eternals.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know what it is about it. It's just
He
it's
doesn't
one
look
of
like
those
anyone
faces
we
that I
know.
want to like.
What? That's a weird thing to say, Sean.
I know.
That's a weird thing to say,
Look,
Sean.
okay. Christy and I have had this conversation. I personally do not
how
like
does that-
the face of what's her name from The Handmaid's Tale, the main actress.
Oh.
Does he have a thing about faces? I think that's his kink.
No, it's feet.
So when we're done with the show,
Here,
Sean will
folks.
go home and be like, you know what? There's just something about Renee's face that I'm just like, ugh, you know. And Brian's face, I just want to.
Whoa. Okay, no, that is no.
What? That's what you're doing.
Get your little cheeks.
Don't you do that. Don't you do that to me.
Ay,
Don't you do that to
mijito,
me.
qué bonito te ves. Mira con tu pelo. Ay, Dios mío.
You know,
Qué
because he said it in
guapo, qué
Spanish, it's
guapo.
okay.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah,
I was gonna
that's
say.
what that's what Nick needs to learn.
Te amo,
If he
mijito.
says it in Spanish, then I'd be like, okay, I can accept it.
Oh, it's funny. Last episode, you guys were talking about like how he's learning Spanish. You're learning
Italian, which I gotta take
Italian.
my lesson.
And American Sign Language.
I'm actually learning Japanese currently as
Oh,
well.
really?
Yeah.
What a weeb.
Well, I'm going to Japan in April.
Oh, are
Or,
you?
May. Yeah. May.
Really?
Yeah.
Can
for
you do me a
week.
favor? I'll talk to you after the show.
Yeah. Let me
Okay,
know.
Cool.
I'm taking a suit. I'm gonna buy a suitcase over there to bring all the the merch and stuff.
Okay,
from
you're
over
gonna have
there
to do
with
me a favor.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds
Record hunting is what I'm doing.
Good. Oh, we'll talk after.
Yeah.
So, sorry, I was going through the movies that also come out. Fall Guy comes out as well, too.
Which we need to watch.
Yeah, with
Fall
Ryan
Guy,
Gosling.
Blunt
Fall Guy.
and
Yeah.
Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
Let me see.
It's with Ryan Gosling. He plays like a stuntman and stuff like that, and then he gets into a situation that like
He actually
a
needs
real
to do
action like
Oh.
situation. Yeah,
Hey.
it has him and Emily Blunt and also Aaron Taylor Johnson.
That's
Whoa,
right.
okay.
Argyle comes out next month too.
Argyle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to see Argyle.
Okay.
I
All right, we
really,
gotta get
really want
tickets
to see
for it soon
Argyle.
because Andy and I are gonna go when it comes out.
I'll get a
Oh,
flat
really?
top just
Okay.
for that movie. I'll get a haircut and just rock a flat top.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I was like, what do you
Henry
mean a
Cavill
flat
has
top?
like the biggest flat top in that.
It's so jarring.
He
looks-
wrap up comic strip
yeah.
soon because we're almost out of time.
Yeah. And so
it?
the last thing, hey, apparently Call of Duty, some data miners actually ended up finding references to Warhammer 40K that might be
Sorry,
coming
what?
out
Call
later.
of Duty Modern Warfare 3, the better game than Baldur's Gate 3?
No. Well, I mean, that's just like your opinion, man.
That's true.
So, hey, I think that's kind of cool.
I'm just a little salty that Nick went after me the way he did.
Well, you deserved
Play.
it.
Why? Because I play Call of Duty? You play Call of Duty?
I do. And I play Baldur's Gate. I play a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
I'm
It's just the fact that he
jack
called
of
me
all
a fake
trades and a
gamer,
master
and
of
I'm just
none.
like, bro, what are you talking about, dude?
Dude, look.
Look, listen. Do you think it was a little too far that he said I'm a fake gamer just because I don't play Baldur's Gate? Maybe I don't have $60
Hey.
to spend on the game right now.
Most
You
of
don't-
us don't
you-
have a
you-
disposable income.
Exactly.
Look. That sounds like your problem.
Or,
Exactly.
or play
It sounds
on,
like a you problem.
Well, he'll say, well, he got it on sale from a Steam sale. So
Oh, he bought it from
again,
G2A.com.
Well, again,
Okay, if you really want to play
All
it,
of us don't
come
have
over to my
PCs,
house and
yeah.
play.
But I
You know,
haven't-
honestly, he actually he lives fairly close to me.
Mm-hmm.
We can all just have a LAN party. The party of 4 of us. I have a TV in the living
Mm-hmm.
room. We can bring his system.
connect a giant Ethernet cord from one house to the other.
just like throw it
Dude.
across.
It would be so cool. Baldur's Gate and nachos.
Just hanging in the trees for now. Just like,
Baldur's, but it has to be a snack with a bee in it. Baldur's Gate and bananas.
No,
Bean dip.
ew.
Bean dip.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bean dip and Baldur's Gate.
Bean dip and Baldur's Gate, baby. It's a B&B weekend.
It's a B&B.
So yeah,
Bean
Bean
dip
and
and wings.
balls. Bean and balls.
Bean and balls.
bean and balls, bean and balls.
You ready to bean and balls?
Bald
Man.
nuts.
Did you hear about speaking about Modern Warfare 3?
Yeah.
I just want to add on to this. Did you hear about the new patch they did for Warzone?
No,
That it
I
broke
haven't-
Warzone completely?
Yes,
No.
actually, when you pick your loadout, it completely
Yeah.
logs you out of the game.
Really?
And it's so funny because everyone was really excited for like the mid-season update. It's reloaded. Everyone's coming back from their holiday break and stuff. Just destroyed
So,
the game. People are not liking it.
I think this is the realization, again, that streamers are just a bunch of like old 8th graders
I hate
that
streamers
never knew
no.
how to grow up. Because like I follow a couple of them and I like some of them because you know they're really cool. They've got some great little quips and stuff like that. But there's clips of them where they're trying to pick their loadouts and then it just like crashes. And I hear one of them go like, Raven, fix your ass man, and then just like screaming. I'm like, you guys are making so much money
Yeah.
in the public. I am doing this and just going like yelling like 8th graders like.
Twitch streamers are shaping the future for what Call of Duty content is because they know and they know these
No, they don't.
executives. Dude, they know the executives. They know these people. And like same thing with Ninja. When Ninja's on a live stream, he's like at tweeting them or like saying, "Hey, I'm going to call this guy, ban him because he's stream sniping me." The guy gets banned. Like bro, are you serious? What?
It's good money.
I hate it.
It's good money, but streamers. I know this. One of the producers for Call of Duty.
Mm-hmm.
He's on the same opinion as well, where it's like streamers are good for marketing purposes.
Yeah.
They're not good to have they're not good in understanding why certain things are the way they are in games, because they play one way, but that's their way.
When they were complaining about the movement in the second Call of Duty, you know, like, oh my god, it's so
Skill-based
slow.
matchmaking, like
Bro.
all that stuff. Why it's important,
Guys,
Yeah, whatever.
relax, calm
All right.
down, touch grass.
Go ahead and close out comic strips, sir.
All right.
No, I meant like close it out.
Yeah, you
Oh.
have to say. So that's been comic strips.
And that's been comic strips. This is not
Yay.
my first time doing this. I'm so sorry.
Thank you, Sean, for producing comic strips. Let's go ahead and talk about the next topic.
Yes.
Really quick, is that cricket? The camera.
Oh,
I don't
shoot.
know.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is.
Ooh.
I'll fix it. Go ahead and introduce the next topic of Self-Reliance.
All right, so did you have a chance to watch it or no?
No.
Okay.
What is Self-Reliance?
Self-Reliance is a movie that is on Hulu. Basically, it is a movie directed and written by Jake Johnson. If you don't know Jake Johnson, he is also Nick Miller from New Girl. And if you don't know Nick Miller, then where the hell have you been?
Yeah, living under a rack.
Yeah. Which Nick has, like Nick Miller has, I should say.
Oh,
Like,
really?
Yeah,
Sent me
he's
that.
basically.
One of my favorite Nick. There's a couple Nick Miller
yeah.
scenes that I love, but one of my favorite ones is when he tries to open the door by pushing it, but it's a pull.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the one that he sent me was he's just like,
Oh, he's talking to
Jess.
and he goes like, oh yeah, you're probably more attractive to me. It's probably because I've been doing my burpees more. And he just goes like this. He goes down, and the first thing you hear is like, he's like, and he tries to get up. He's all,
real.
and he's like just sitting there like,
So winded.
yeah. And then he gets up. He's all, see, you just hear cracking. Like, I'm
Me
like,
in my 30s, dude.
yeah.
What was that cop movie he did? I
Let's
can't remember.
let's.
Did you bring
let's
it,
be
cops?
dude.
Let's be cops. That's right.
I have it on Blu-ray. I
I
keep
love
forgetting to
that
give
movie.
it to him.
It's-
Bring it tomorrow.
Okay.
So good.
Text me tonight.
No, but we saw the movie.
Yeah.
So he
I've been on
directed it, wrote it, or
directed, wrote it.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And
It's a
it's
passion project of his.
We've got like maybe 10 minutes to talk about it because we do have to talk about the main topic, which is Ted. But basically, long story short, it was a movie that he wrote during the pandemic. We watched his interview with Josh from Mythical Kitchen called Last Meals, where they like make his last meal essentially that he would have when he dies, before he dies. And I like this quote because it kind of shows what kind of character he is in real life, which is people get into acting because they want to be rich. He got into acting to fund his own projects.
Yeah.
As long as he has enough money to support his family, live a good
Hell
life,
yeah.
and make his own projects, then that's what he wanted to do. And Self-Reliance, you can tell, was a very good passion project of his because it's got a great cast. I think the only major stars in there is Anna Kendrick, Jake Johnson, and Andy Samberg.
Andy Samberg, yeah.
Hey, cool.
Those are like the big three. Everyone else. Oh, and the girl that plays Tommy's girlfriend at the end of Parks and Rec.
Oh yeah. She's I forgot
her name.
Yeah.
But have you ever seen Parks and Rec?
Yeah, who's Tommy?
In Adi and Zara's.
Aziz Ansari.
Aziz
Oh,
Ansari's.
okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember his girlfriend at the end of the season.
I forget her name.
Series.
Yeah.
She's
but
a nurse or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's a doctor without. She goes to participate in Doctors Without Borders. She's a doctor.
Yeah.
I think. I'm not 100% sure. But basically, the premise of the show or the movie is he is this down on his luck dude who has lost his girlfriend of like years, 26 years or something like that.
20 years or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, they've been like high school sweethearts. They were together for a really long time, and he is just kind of like at a stalemate with his job and his life. He's not doing anything.
Yeah. He's very much like doing the same thing over and over again, and he's perfectly content, but at the same time, he's not fully happy with his life.
Yes.
He's comfortable.
Yeah.
As he's
comfortable,
going home, he gets stopped by Andy Samberg, who then proposes this game show to him, or he doesn't propose it, but he takes him to this warehouse.
Yeah, with
where-
these Icelandic hosts are sitting at a table and basically says, you have a chance to participate in the most famous dark web show, which is basically if you can survive for 30 days, you will get $1 million. And it's basically assassins will try to come and kill him for 30 days. But the rule is they cannot kill you if you're next to someone.
And so as the
Yeah.
movie progresses, you start to learn the different rules that they have, because at first, you know, the character of Jake Johnson basically like thinks that this is an easy no-brainer
Yeah,
win.
he goes, that's a loophole then. He goes, no, it's a rule. They go, no, it's a rule. He goes, no, well, it's kind of a loophole. I just have to be next to someone for 30 days. That's it.
Yeah.
How hard can that be?
Now-
when really, you think about it, you're like,
You take a shit by yourself.
yeah,
Yeah.
and like, and
Mark it down again,
yeah.
124, 40.
Sorry, Nick.
And
It's
I,
50
so
cents
so
far.
me and Mandy were watching it, and I was, you know, she goes, would you do it? And I go, yeah, I would. I go, and she goes, but you'd have to be like next to someone every single day. And I go, well, this shouldn't be too hard. And then basically, I thought about it, and I was like, no, yeah, because I like to be alone most of my time. I don't like people bothering me. And I was like, well, maybe I wouldn't survive. That's the thing. So, but throughout the whole movie, he basically tries to get the support of his family. Obviously, his family doesn't believe him that he is partaking in this whole thing. They actually think he's going crazy and stuff because of where he's at in his life. They think it's a mental breakdown. And he tries to basically like, you know, okay, well, if I'm not going to, you know, if no one can help me, then I'll just hire someone. He hires a homeless man to just basically shadow him the whole time. It's great. He puts out an ad on Craigslist to see if some other people are participating in this whole thing. Then that's how he meets Anna Kendrick, because Anna Kendrick claims that she is partaking in this show as well too. So they kind of like stay together for good, like 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
2 weeks, and then they kind of develops into something between the two of them and stuff. But something happens where basically like,
Don't spoil the rest of the
yeah,
movie.
that's I'm trying not to give out key moments. But the thing is that, you know, it's really interesting because Jake Johnson takes it in a weird psychological but yet funny way.
Cool.
It is a dramedy. And I think
like
people think of it as it is a comedy because it has Jake Johnson in it.
It's a dark comedy.
It's a black comedy.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And it's very cool because it does at some points you start second guessing yourself about the character. It'd be like, because everyone keeps thinking like, is he going crazy? Like this is not real. And then you're thinking, well, is it? Like, is he going crazy? But then there's Jake Johnson did a good job of reassuring the audience that like, no, this is what he's doing. It's a real thing.
There's different aspects in the film that reassure you that this isn't in his head. It's a reality.
Yeah.
So we were having a conversation about this movie after watching it. I enjoyed it as much as Rene did, but I was uncomfortable watching it to a point.
Yeah.
Why?
And the reason why is because what Jake Johnson does really well in this movie is it's a story about anxiety and people dealing with anxiety. And so I've had to deal with it at certain points in my life where you try to explain something to certain people, especially family, and they just don't believe you because they think it's something else. And he goes through that process of like, well, no one cares about me. No one's going to believe me.
Does he end up looking crazy?
Oh,
He does. There's
yes.
multiple moments where he does look crazy.
Yeah.
And his family they're just not buying it, you know, and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And it does get your anxiety does go up. And towards the end, it does go up towards the end and stuff like that for him because you start getting worried, like, oh, I hope he wins. You know, you're really pushing for him.
Yeah. So there's a little minor spoiler in the end game of the game. He's told that he has to go because the rule of the game is it ends a certain way. Once he makes the 30 days, he basically wins, right? But once he reaches the end game, they throw a different proposition to him.
Yeah.
A different, like a twist, a plot twist, right?
Okay.
And in fairness, it is part of the game that he has to go through, which he totally agrees to. But there's a scene where he has to walk from point A to point B without anyone. And so he's walking down the street, jumping from like crowd to crowd because he can't be alone.
Yeah. The assassins are really like gaining on him at this point.
And so it comes down to a point which I didn't like where you know something's not right. And so you try to...
You're anticipating something's going to go wrong here.
Yeah. And I've been in those situations where like you look like the crazy one, but you're actually not.
Yeah, you're
But-
actually sane.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And just no one understands the context of it.
I feel
And
you.
those parts are like, it didn't not that it didn't click, it was too relatable.
And you said Emily Blunt's in this movie?
No,
No,
Anna
that was-
Kendrick,
Anna Kendrick,
Andy Sandberg,
Andy Samberg, and
Jake Johnson, and the girl from
Any,
Parks and Rec.
any notable like assassins actor like
There, so
or
those
they just filtering them out.
those actors are used from like either Jake Johnson's past and stuff like that,
Okay.
like in like people that he's ran into in New Girl and stuff like that.
Okay.
You know, he does have it's pretty much basically like like, oh yeah, that's
there's no
that
Prince
guy
cameo.
that guy's from New Girl and stuff
Okay.
like that. Oh yeah, that guy's from like Let's Be Cops and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
there's cool not cameos, but just kind of like, oh yeah, you've seen those actors before and stuff.
Okay.
So it's really good. I really enjoyed it for what it was. The whole aspect of like, the game itself and stuff like that, because the people that are in charge of it start kind of meddling with Jake Johnson's character and stuff like that, because they go like, oh yeah, well, you're kind of our favorite and stuff like that. And so it's really cool. I need
to see this.
It's good,
I'm
man.
probably gonna
It's
watch
really
this
good.
tomorrow or
Yeah.
Sunday.
Yeah, it's not. I feel like we're overselling the film for what it is, because it's
No,
definitely
no.
not like
You
well,
liked
no,
it.
not
You
to
enjoyed
you.
it, you know?
We're
Like-
selling it to you because we
Yeah.
want you to watch
Yeah.
it.
I
will.
But for everyone
I will.
else, I feel like we don't want this movie to be understood as like a great cinematic masterpiece.
It's not. It's just
it's a great
between
movie.
It's a
overselling
good time.
and being, passionate.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think that the beauty about this film, and this is just my take on it, is that it's a film created by a man who really wanted to make his own story and did it without any form of interruptions or interjections from any executive, and really got to tell the story he wanted to tell.
Well, it's adapting the story of The Great Game.
Yeah.
It's adapting towards that, because the style of the font in the opening credits is very much like that, of like that classic story of The Great Game and stuff. So, which is cool. That's the thing. So
So
it's
the
really
movie-
it's really. I like it because it's very creative. The writing was really good, and I think Jake Johnson has a lot of potential of writing another. If he does another movie, I'm going to watch it definitely.
He said
Okay.
he doesn't want to.
Oh, really?
He said that in, I don't know if it was with the Last Meals interview, or if it was on another show that he was on another podcast.
You mean
talking
like
about this.
direct another movie or make another
Make another
Self-Reliance?
movie.
Oh, okay.
He was asked like, would you ever want to make another movie again? And he said, I feel like this was my movie, that this is the movie I wanted to
is
make. He
fine.
doesn't know what
Yeah.
happens down the road,
Yeah.
but he says as of right now, this is the movie he wanted to make, and he's very happy with
I
it.
love
which
that.
is a good idea.
Nice.
I did like his quote from Last Meals. We talked about it. It was the idea of gambling.
Yeah.
What was it again?
He said something about, because people, when he was gambling down in Atlantic City with a couple of his friends, he was in the table playing blackjack, I think, and he wasn't being good. He wasn't great at it, but he was just having a good time.
Okay, cool.
And he was enjoying that more. And people were like, "Why did you go that way? You could have done it this way. You could have done that." And he's like, "I don't really care about that. I care about how I'm gonna play in the next game and stuff like that. I want
like this guy.
Yeah, like I don't care about making money. I care about participating. And that's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got a very interesting take on life.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's not a very
like it.
pretentious or it's
Yeah.
not a
I
fake.
resonate with that.
Yeah, it's not a fake personality either.
Well, actually, watching Last Meals, when he talked about his dad, and it made sense, because he did the same thing. He brought in that story to Self-Reliance and
Yeah,
stuff like
he
that.
did.
When it came to his father and stuff, he said his father walked out on him at a young age, and then years later, when he was like 20,
17,
or
18.
17, yeah, his dad was like, "Hey, I'm here," and stuff like that, and I'm sober now, and he goes, "That's great for you, but that does nothing for me," and stuff like that. So he talks
You had
about
your moment.
He
that's
talked
the thing.
about how he was drinking next to his dad as a form of spite because he really hated the fact that his dad wasn't there for like at a young age.
Yeah.
But then he kind of grew out of it and realized like, you know what, like I can't really be upset at what I couldn't control.
Yeah.
It's more along the lines of like, this man did something that you can't really fix, and I can't hold myself accountable for that. I have to learn and grow. And
That's the thing.
yeah, it's a good story, and I really recommend Self-Reliance.
Yeah.
You recommend
I
Self-Reliance.
recommend Self-Reliance. It's a good weekend watch,
Only an hour and a half too.
Yeah.
Not a terrible
Me
movie.
and Mandy both enjoyed it. We'll probably watch it again.
Gonna go to Ralph's, get some Jiffy Pop, and
Definitely,
you
yeah.
know,
You
watch
just-
it.
Yeah, check it out.
I'm hyped for it. You guys,
Yeah.
I'm sold.
Yeah, no,
There you go.
you'll
I'll
like
watch
it.
it.
And plus the relationship between him and Anna Kendrick are really good. It's so natural. I think they're friends in real life as well too. Because
love
this
Anna
is
Kendrick,
like
man.
the second movie that they've been together in. They starred both in and stuff.
What was the first one?
Oh, the first one they did was a movie called Drinking Buddies.
Drinking, but no. I
It's
don't
an
think
old movie, but it
Okay.
came out like early 2010s and stuff like that.
Oh wow.
Anna
Okay.
Kendrick plays a very cutesy little girl,
And everything.
or not little girl, but plays a cutesy girl. Like she's very
And this one, she's like the more kind of like shy girl next door.
yeah, which is it's a good dynamic. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Last topic. We got to wrap up the show pretty soon, so let's go ahead and talk about Ted, the TV series created by Seth MacFarlane, which is a prequel to the
GOAT.
last 2 movies.
So mind you, before watching this, I've talked about it before. I wasn't excited for it.
No,
like when this
same.
got
Was I?
announced, they're doing a Ted series. I'm like, cool.
All right.
I get to see Mark Wahlberg, with his Boston accent.
Yeah.
You know, just like, Ted.
Had
Yeah. And I'm just gonna say it's only picking up the head on the camera.
Oh,
There you
right.
go. There you go. Like
Yeah.
that. And I wasn't excited for it because again, it's another Seth MacFarlane show. How many shows does he have? He has like 20 different shows and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, let's see where it goes. At most, I was like, it's gonna be like a live action Family Guy, which is, after watching this,
Kind
So-
of is,
It's not
but in a
bad.
But Family
good
Guy
way.
was good in the first couple of seasons.
that's the
Yes,
thing.
And
it is prime before it got canceled. This is the kind of writing that I feel that I got from the show. Is that era of
Early
Guy.
Family Guy,
Yeah.
which was clever.
Can
That's
you
the-
minimize that window, please? Just to make sure. No, the other one. So go to the yellow button that's on that window.
Yeah,
right
because
there.
we're done.
Perfect.
There
Okay.
we
So for me, it's prime Family Guy, and the thing is, I was gonna watch Ted just to see what kind of writing Seth MacFarlane or what he would be producing because he didn't write
Recently,
He produced the show. I don't think he wrote. I think he wrote one episode, but he directed
he,
plenty of them.
he probably wrote the first one.
Yeah,
So let me see.
he
I'll
directed
check
like
right
3
now.
or 4. But I was afraid that it was going to be just another crude humor comedy because that's kind of
Fart
what
joke here.
yeah,
because
that's kind of what American Dad and Family Guy have been doing.
Yeah.
And no, I have never seen the first Ted. I put it on 2 days ago, and I was like, I really like this movie. I enjoyed it. It made me cry. And I
Which
put
one, the first one or
the first one.
The first one.
Yeah, dude, he got cut in half.
You gonna take care of me for one now? Nah, I'm just messing with you,
man.
So Seth MacFarlane has directed basically all the episodes. He has written the first episode, but he directed all the episodes.
Okay.
Seth MacFarlane, which is not bad. That's pretty
It's
good.
good to have the
Yeah.
writing be handed over to someone else because the
Yeah.
writing for this is very. I feel like they understood the comedy that was supposed to be in there because there's
They
a lot of
understood the
jokes.
assignment.
Yeah, there were a lot of jokes that you could, if it wasn't written the way it was done, and if it wasn't spoken.
Oh, he also
through
wrote
line
the
of-
5th episode, which is the Desperately Seeking Susan.
Okay, when the
Blair
she becomes
believes
a
that
substitute.
Maddie.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
She
Which
is a
actually, I saw a clip of that. That was a funny blurb when he defends Susan against that bully girl.
Oh, that I
in
hope
class.
you gave your boyfriend vitiligo
Yeah,
so
uh-huh.
that way it's your finger isn't the only thing going down your
Because,
mouth.
yeah.
Dude, roasted.
savage.
Yeah.
Let him cook. Let him know.
Nah, dude, he was done cooking. He
Yeah.
put that thing on high and just
Yeah.
let it there and
Poor girl.
No,
when you see
dude.
when you see the
So-
high school bully actually walk out and cry, you know you did a lot of damage.
So
a lot of damage.
So watching Ted, the first episode was pretty good, but it was like 50 minutes long.
it was
Yes, it was
I didn't
almost an
realize,
hour. Yeah,
I didn't realize how long it was.
I think that's the longest
that's the-
episode.
Yeah.
No, the last one is also 50 minutes long.
Oh,
is it?
okay.
Yeah,
okay.
so that's the beauty of this of this TV show. I'm going to start off by saying this. I was more encouraged to watch the show because there was a lot of hatred on X about this movie.
Oh, really?
A lot of people were saying, "I really hate the fact that I love this show.
Oh,
why
okay.
is it? Why
Well,
am I enjoying the show? It's
it
like,
got-
why can't you just enjoy the show for being
It
funny?
got a
yeah.
90% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, no, it's a
Yes.
90%.
Is it 90%?
It's like 90% on Rotten Tomatoes from the audience and like an 85
Good job,
critic
Seth.
score. And the thing is like I said, there's a lot of it's a very early 2000s comedic style of writing
Yeah.
where a lot of the jokes that you do now you can't really say unless it's
Get a
written a
little
certain way.
canceled for.
Yeah, so like one of the jokes, I'm just gonna say it this, it's like when he goes and buys pot for the first time, is like Maddie's making you pay rent, and Frank wouldn't even be caught living in there.
Oh my
Yeah.
god!
And then
yes.
and she looks at him like,
Yeah.
it's like, it's okay, I can make that joke. I donate to Jew causes.
causes.
Yeah,
It's
just-
Just like, what? And I was just like, bro, dude, like, how do you say stuff like
Yeah.
that? Or the one where he's like, and as Hemingway oh my gosh, as Hemingway said, I wonder how this gun tastes like.
Yeah.
Which is a full-on joke of his own
Yeah.
suicide, dude. I'm like, bro. So there's a lot of like, it crosses the line,
Yeah.
yeah,
but it does
in
it
a
so
tasteful
well.
manner.
Would you
You
say
know?
it's tasteful, or
I
are you
feel
saying
like-
that it's just enjoyable? Because I feel bad.
I don't
I feel
feel
like it's-
I don't feel bad. I like the risky jokes that they're doing, the spicy jokes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I think that balances out with the cousin character.
Yes.
Calling them
Yeah.
out on it. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I
The
feel
voice of
like
reason.
yeah, basically, and I think you told me that Seth MacFarlane is
He's a very left-leaning individual.
Yeah.
Donates to several causes, and is also a full-on gay supporter or gay rights supporter.
which is another funny joke where he goes
Isn't
like,
his
"Oh yeah,
sister- isn't his sister gay? I think
It might be.
She's
No,
the voice
is
of
his
Haley.
sister?
She's the voice of Haley on American Dad. I know that's his sister.
Oh,
I think-
okay.
I don't know if she
I don't know.
is.
Oh no, that's Pedro Pascal. That
yeah."
his
Pedro
sister
is
is trans.
Trans, yeah.
Yeah, never mind. Okay, yeah.
So one of the jokes that they made about the gay community is that when the bully ball taps the
Oh, yes.
John, and he's all like, well, you touched his dick twice, so like, doesn't that make you gay? He goes like, no, there's nothing wrong with being gay. He says like, how many people here are gay? And everyone raises their hands, and one guy goes, yeah, it's the tits. Like,
I'm gay and I'm loving it.
yeah, it's like, and I was like, that's awesome. That's so funny. I just that one, just like, yeah, it's the tits. Like, I love
They
that.
do a period joke too, which
Yeah.
is like the
Yes.
dad does. None of the guys at the house know how periods.
Oh,
are.
yeah.
So then Maddie walks in on.
Maddie's the character.
He's
yeah,
red.
Yeah.
He's red from that '70s show.
Oh, is he?
I think but that's his character persona.
Oh, yeah. So basically, what I like
And F is
about
for family.
I love and hate
Oh,
the
yeah.
dad. I love and hate the dad because
Yeah.
he's so kind of male.
Arrogant.
I don't want to say bigoted because he's not.
He's a bigoted.
He's a fossil.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, he's a classic '90s dad.
He
is.
fought
Yeah.
in Vietnam. You know
yeah,
what do you
so he
expect?
fought in Vietnam.
He
Jumped
was
a
in
dog,
Vietnam.
jumped
Yeah.
off a dog to save
Yeah,
America.
well,
You did it, so we didn't have to. I love that line from Ted. But it's so great because I love the actor too plays it so well.
Yes.
That plays Maddie.
He does.
And it's so great because it's so believable at the same time. Because we all you either had a dad like that or a male
an
figure
uncle.
in your family that was like that.
Yeah.
That's a thing. So
It's just a great show, and I think the other aspect that I love about this show
Mm-hmm.
is that there's no bad guy in the family.
No.
Like the family is as much as arrogant as they
believable.
could be.
It's believable.
They all love each other.
well,
Yeah.
I love how Ted stands up for certain members of the family with being the cousin and the mom.
Yeah.
How he's so willing to just be like, no, like he's gonna call you out on your bull crap.
Yeah,
It's a Wonder Years kind of vibe. But with like
Yes.
Seth MacFarlane
Oh, but-
spin on it.
But with cussing. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a perfect
Yeah.
way of putting it. It's a Wonder Years kind of show.
I love it.
Just with cussing.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is great because like in Ted, I think in the first movie
Yeah.
you kind of saw that where Ted understands his mistakes.
Yeah.
And like will own up to it, and seeing that more in the TV show and saying like, look, I did mess up. I did introduce you to drugs.
He didn't do drugs,
I
you know,
didn't
when
do-
he was famous. And I love how there's like, well, if I've seen the movies, I'm already having like this thought, like, well, of course he was doing drugs and all
Yeah.
this. He was too scared to do drugs.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, so
did it
this is
after
the
he was
origin
famous,
story.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
that's
the
cool.
last episode is Ted trying to make John lose his virginity.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I read the expert in it.
Okay, so
Yeah.
it's so funny because like he has his own way of trying to make John lose his virginity, and Blair, the cousin, is like, just be yourself.
Yeah.
He's like, F that, dude. Just
Yeah.
do what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Tell him that you're banging a bunch of chicks
Yeah.
and that you're this badass baller who does this. And then at the end of it, he like owns up to it and goes like, yeah, you know what, I was right and all this other stuff. And John admits to him,
Yeah.
he's like, no, I'm a man that can make my own decisions, and I
Yeah.
chose to listen to you. So in
Oh,
part,
okay.
it is my fault as
Yeah.
well. So the fact that it's a very family centric show
Yeah.
is very it's very pleasing because you're not creating conflict out of stupid problems.
No.
Yeah.
You're creating conflict out of life.
Yeah.
And life that you
Real
might have
life
experienced.
issues.
Exactly. Yeah. That you might have gone through, that anyone might have experienced. School problems, family
Yeah.
problems, bigotry, or whatever it may
Yeah.
be. Like, it's just everyday problems. And
Yeah.
it's just with Family Guy humor, which is really great.
I also like I've also grown to like the actor that's playing John, which is Mark Wahlberg's character.
Yes.
Have
in
you
the
noticed that
movies.
his Boston accent gets better per episode?
It
Yes.
does. Yeah, and I think what it was is that it was weird because it was he's trying to talk like Mark Wahlberg
Yeah.
with a heavy Boston accent.
Yeah.
And then when you just keep watching it, you're like, no, it's his own spin, but it's just that's your knee jerk reaction.
Exactly.
You're like, no, it doesn't sound. It sounds very fake, but at the same time, Mark Wahlberg's Boston accent was very heavy and very
Intense.
comedic. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So it was good. so far I've only watched the first 2 episodes, but I'm definitely enjoying it.
Have you? At least on my end, I've had to pause the show a couple times because I just had to finish laughing before I could even like continue.
Oh no,
watching
we
it.
just laugh through it and just keep continuing on. I think Mandy's favorite episode is the second one right now, and I go, we have to stop watching this show because I think the next episode's not going to be as good. Like, just give me a day to kind of sit on it. That's the thing.
They all hit.
Yeah.
They're all bangers.
Back to back.
I don't know, man. It's just just the dynamic of them with trying to father the bully and just how deep they keep
man.
going. And it's just like this the whole time. Like, they're like, okay, we're going to hire a guy
They
to be
freaking
your
base
dad.
it around a joke of miscarriage.
Yes.
And then they're
Yes.
just like, this is worse than
Yeah.
the miscarriage. The
Yeah.
fact that they lied about his dad not
Yeah.
coming to see him.
Oh my
The
God.
college
I'm like-
professor. That I love. It's in the Halloween episode, and like no one knows what an Ewok is. No
Oh
one knows,
my God.
No one knows what an Ewok.
Oh, are
is.
you
It's
supposed
like
to be from
people-
Prince of Arabia?
Look, he's Lawrence of Arabia.
Or Lawrence of Arabia?
Oh my God.
4 or 5 people
Yeah.
like make that. And I'm
Have
like,
you not
and
seen Return of the Jedi?
Yeah.
Screw it, never mind.
it's a small film, mainly Israeli funded. Wait, is it really? I need to look this up now because like, why else would he make this joke?
Yeah.
But
I think it was sarcasm. I don't
Yeah.
think it was
Oh.
Israeli fun. It's Return of the freaking Jedi, dude. After 2 movies, really, dude.
George Lucas is like, I'm losing funding.
Let's get to theaters.
I mean, also Steven Spielberg must have gotten on that back because I mean, there's like in that episode, there's so many ET references.
Oh my
Jesus.
gosh, yes.
John,
Oh,
is
really?
this what we've been doing to people? We've been wrong. We've been so wrong. They're just like egging. Why does
What's
the
your
Hulk,
costume supposed to be like? Incredible Hulk?
Hulk.
No, it's not.
Why does the Hulk always talk in the third person? He's Hulk angry, and then you just melt him with an
Go
egg.
back to Walgreens when you got your costume.
Yes. Oh my god,
Oh, man.
it's so good.
Oh.
I love the Halloween episode. It probably
That's
top 2.
like the most clips I
That's
see
a
is
good
from
one.
that episode.
That
honestly.
episode,
Yeah.
it's a good one.
Yeah.
And it's an episode where John is by himself and Ted is off with
Oh, that's
Blair.
right. They're
Yes.
separate. Yeah.
They're separate.
That's like I think the one and only episode over there.
Yeah.
Which I'm disappointed in because I want more Ted and Blair.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
and you do get that in the last episode because they go to prom together. But other than that, like I want another episode with just them because their dynamic works.
I want more.
Yeah,
And
because
I need more.
Yeah, Ted is like the teachable bear, and Blair's the one that knows everything. So
Oh, that's where I've seen it. She's from season 2 of Punisher.
Who?
Blair,
What?
the actress that
Oh,
plays
really?
Blair. That's the guy that Punisher in the second season. There's like a girl he
punished her?
protects. No,
Oh.
no.
I
But
was just thinking of the
but
joke
he
in the
protects.
first one. He's like, "You're gonna talk to Sheila. If you don't talk to Sheila,
Sheila.
I'm
Sheila.
gonna tell her that you jerk off to network television,
Lori Lauren. Yeah.
to Lori Laughlin,
Lori
but you only
Laughlin,
jerk
yeah.
off
She
to
can
her when
never
you
do
watch her
any
Fuller
wrong.
House." And then,
then-
you climax when establishing shots happen.
Oh, it's a duplex.
Oh no, it's a duplex.
Some of those jokes, man, are just so well done.
Yes.
You
Oh,
know?
dude,
Yeah.
it's goated.
Seth MacFarlane, you knocked
Yeah.
it out of the park. Thank
To-
you for
to-
2024.
Which I think we talked about it. You go like, does like Seth MacFarlane just like talk to himself?
I think he does.
Yeah.
Probably.
Because
Yeah.
that's okay. So if you've noticed, have you noticed that Seth MacFarlane's like production or direction
Yeah.
for a lot of his content is he'll have characters kind of monologue in a conversation.
Yeah.
So
It's like a funny Quentin Tarantino kind of spin
basically,
on it. Yeah.
so the vibe I get from him is I feel like as a kid, Seth MacFarlane just spoke to himself in the mirror a couple times, or there's like a second person in his head.
Yeah, yeah.
Because he'll like. It'll be a conversation, an A/B conversation. Then you say something stupid, and I go like, "Yeah, like." Da, da, da.
Yeah.
And it's like
And it just kind of goes off in this
It goes-
weird snowball.
exactly, but you're still having the conversation
Yes.
as if you never paid
Yeah.
attention to what I
But you're
said.
so interested in where it's going. That's
Yeah.
the thing. Yeah.
Like when they're doing the whole prayer, and he's just like, where he thinks he's Jesus Christ, and they're all doing prayer in the dinner table. He's just responding, and none of the family acknowledges
No.
him.
I'm guilty of doing that in my head.
Yeah.
Or like when, oh my god, yeah. I'm
But
not
see,
even
but
gonna
that's
get
the
into
thing
it.
is that I think Seth MacFarlane did talk to himself growing up, and I think he's just mastered the ability to have it written down on paper,
Yeah.
and it's brilliant.
Yeah.
It's good. I recommend Ted. My
Yes,
final thoughts on this
Yeah.
is
If you want a funny show, sitcom show, Ted is 2024.
I kind of want to watch it high now.
I'm down.
I just yeah.
Yeah.
just to see
Rewatch
what.
it high.
Probably die peeing my pants, dude.
I did watch the first 2 episodes last night very high, and Christy this morning was like, what were you watching? That was so funny because I could hear you like laughing last night in my sleep, and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I was watching Ted.
So apparently I woke up hugging this bear this morning.
Oh.
Apparently what my wife told me, what Andy told me.
You need to take that to Build-A-Bear and stuff it more.
Oh, this bear is like 10
you.
years old.
Yeah. Take it to Build-A-Bear, get it restuffed.
No, it's not a Build-A-Bear bear.
I know, but they can just...
Can they really?
They'll
They can
stuff.
probably-
Hey, I'll stuff them for you.
No.
Why?
That's something Nick would say.
Exactly.
Get it stuffed.
I had to. I
No,
saw
so
it.
apparently this morning I woke up in fear because Andy was staring at her closet and I thought that she was like possessed.
Yeah.
So I woke up and she's like, "Oh no, babe, don't worry. I'm just looking for like clothes to wear or what to wear for work today."
Yeah.
I don't remember this part because all I remember was waking up with this like this. According to Andy, I thought when I heard my alarm, I thought it was coming from this bear, which we named Hazelnut. And so I grabbed the bear and I started hitting its stomach to say I love you. And then as soon as Andy turned off my alarm, I went in for a hug and just hugged it like this. And as Andy left, it smells good. And as Andy left, she apparently tried to like get the bear out of my hands and it didn't let go. So I think that I got too much Ted in me that I didn't want to let go of the bear.
You did. That's adorable.
It's fine. I like my bear, right?
Yeah.
I might sleep with it again today because I
No,
felt
you
comfortable
are.
waking up.
You are.
You will. Yeah.
No.
Damn you, Hazelnut. I'm jealous.
Of what?
Huh? Nothing.
Final
Thank
thoughts.
you guys for watching.
What are your final thoughts?
I liked it. I know. I said go watch it.
Okay, what are your
watch
final
we
thoughts?
recommend
Oh,
it.
watch it. Definitely. Binge it if you want to.
I'm gonna finish it this weekend for sure.
I feel like it has rewatch value.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm watching it again with Andy.
Nice.
That brings us to the end of Keeping Up with the Nerds issue 182. Thank you so much for joining us here.
Yeah.
Go check out our website, keepingupwiththenerds.com. Check out our socials, Instagram, Facebook, x.com. Check out our YouTube, youtube.com/Keeping Up with the Nerds, and check out our audio platforms, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, Spotify, and soon YouTube Music. Renee, are you ready to wrap up the show?
Oh yeah. I was like, wait, what?
What do I have? What do I have to do?
What do I gotta do? All right. This has been Keeping Up with the Nerds, issue 182. My name is Rene,
I'm Sean.
This is Bryan.
and that has been. I was like,
Signing off.
signing off from Undercity Comics. We'll see you all next time.
Bye.
Later.
Later.